I'll try and share this real fast.
I did. I was very interested in mescaline. It's kind of the orphan psychedelic. When I wrote How to Change Your Mind a couple years ago, I focused on psilocybin.
Are you using those headphones?
What's that?
Were you using those headphones?
No, I didn't have any headphones on.
Oh, okay.
Psychedelic to be discovered in the West.
Actually, can you unplug that?
Yeah.
Speaker head. Earmuffs.
The first psychedelic
Whatever they're called.
isolated and synthesized, and then it disappeared. Oh, it's the one Aldous Huxley wrote about too, in Doors of Perception, which is one of the most beautiful books about transcendental experiences that's been written. And he had a mescaline trip in the 50s that really changed his life. But then it disappeared, and I couldn't figure out why. And one reason is that LSD is similar in its
Hey folks who are joining the live stream, we're going to be going back live on the air here on WILL within the next 2 to 3 minutes. For now, I wanted to get the radar shared so you could just watch that while you listen to us. I'm running into trouble with that, so you're going to see my face and you'll hear what we're talking about, and then I'll try and get the radar in front of you here as I can.
Whereas mescaline, you have to take something like 400 milligrams, so it's like 2 fat capsules. But the other reason I was interested in mescaline, though, is that it has been used continuously by Native Americans and extensively in the last 100 years in what is called the Native American Church, which is a trans-tribal church of Native Americans.
Hey folks, if you're just joining, you're here in the studio at WILL AM 580. We're going to be going on air here in the next 1 to 2 minutes, around 8:30. Again, I wanted to be streaming the radar, but you got my face right now, but you can at least hear what we're talking about, and I'll show you the radar as soon as I get a moment. All right, I'm sharing the links on social now. Tornado warning for Logan County.
And in some ways it was in the 60s. But in the Native American church, the role of peyote has been to promote social cohesion, community building, community preservation under the threat of, colonialism and occupation.
Warning for Atlanta.
Yep.
Warning. Done a lot to preserve Indian identity in America, as well as healing. It's used to treat alcoholism and social problems in the community, and it's like 250,000 people strong.
Hello again. If you're joining the live stream, we're going live here on WILL AM 580 in central Illinois here in the next minute or so. Just real quick, we've got a tornado warning for southeastern Tazewell County. Potential developing tornado near Delavan, moving off to the northeast. New tornado warning now just north of Lincoln. This is a tornado warning for northern Logan County in central Illinois, southeastern Tazewell County in central Illinois, and east central Mason County until 9 o'clock, 8:30. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Middleton or near Mason City, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. So these storms continue to quickly move across portions of central Illinois. Severe thunderstorm warning south of Springfield. That storm approaching Decatur would eventually make its way toward the Champaign-Urbana area as well. And then we've also got a very strong storm likely about to produce a tornado near the Edwardsville area. That storm exiting the St. Louis metro right now.
What I'm interested in is a measure that will legalize psilocybin.
Go ahead and show you the radar real fast.
Let me know when you're...
I'm good whenever.
State Department of Health.
Stand by.
Can I answer this guy's question and we'll go?
Okay.
Train facilitators and train and license growers of psilocybin so that people may have, in a safe and unstigmatized way, a psilocybin experience, whether they have a mental illness diagnosis or just want to do it for spiritual development. I think that what's destigmatizing psychedelics is, the voters speaking out.
From cannabis
they think
to...
the drug is a dead end, and they want to see it end. But also the research that's being done. We have had an incredible string of papers coming out about the value of both psilocybin and MDMA, also known as ecstasy, in treating mental health problems, which are, epidemic right now. And nothing has done more, I think, to change the image of these substances than this research. And it's changing the image of things like ecstasy, which was a rave.
Potential tornado near Delavan. That's moving off to the northeast.
Counterculture psychedelic. To think of them
Also a tornado warning here, Mason City. That continues to move off toward the Bloomington area. Here's the severe thunderstorm warning. We'll go ahead and flip over to, let's see.
Stigmatization, frankly, is the fact that many people are, in the closet about their own use of these substances. Either embarrassing.
There we go. Severe storm south of Springfield. That's tracking toward Decatur.
Okay, we're going to break into Science Friday. Good evening. I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media, and you're listening to WILL AM 580 HD1 HD3 Urbana. And we're bringing you the special report right now about potentially life-threatening severe weather in central Illinois right now. Joining me in the studio right now is meteorologist Andrew Pritchard, and he is here kind of monitoring a lot of storms. We know we are under a tornado watch, but we even have some tornado warnings. Andrew.
Thanks, Reginald. We do have a tornado watch in effect for Champaign County, surrounding portions of central and east central Illinois, in effect until 2 o'clock this morning. But most concerningly, I guess, is the storms moving into the area now. We've got a pair of tornado warning storms that are approaching the Bloomington area. We've got a new tornado warning for northern Logan County, southeastern Tazewell County, and east central Mason County in central Illinois. At 8:28 p.m., a tornado or a potential tornado was located near Middletown or near Mason City, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. And as I look at the radar, the storm just to the north of that, that's going to be, this would be for southeastern Tazewell County. We've got a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Delavan, or 11 miles south of Pekin. That one's moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. And as I look at the velocity signature, it does look like we've got a potential tornado developing here just north of Delavan. Now, this is going to be approaching Interstate 155 between Tremont and down toward the Hopedale area. So if you're traveling on that north-south stretch there from, Tremont down to Hopedale, this potential tornado is going to be approaching your area rather quickly. We've also got the storm just to the south of that is rotating. That one's going to be moving into northern Logan County here within the next 15 to 30 minutes, moving toward the Lincoln area, points north from there. And then eventually that storm moves into McLean County, approaching the Bloomington normal area. Now, no warnings in effect for McLean County now. That's likely to change in the next 30 minutes or so. You head on south down the line, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for portions of Sangamon County and Christian County. Northern Christian County, southern Sangamon County. That storm producing damaging wind gusts 60 miles per hour. That storm was previously tornado warned and, of course, could still, have the potential to produce tornadoes. So we're monitoring that one quickly, or closely, I should say, as it approaches Decatur and continues to track along the Interstate 72 corridor. That storm eventually could approach the Champaign-Urbana area as well. I'm getting a new severe thunderstorm warning on the northern side of that kind of fills the gap between the tornado warning and the severe thunderstorm warning there. This one, let's go ahead and pull up the text on that, and I'll go ahead and read that to you. It's going to be impacting Dawson, Mount Pulaski, Latham. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9 p.m. for southeastern Logan County and northeastern Sangamon County. The text on that one, at 8:31 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Cornland, or 14 miles south of Lincoln, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. So these storms, anywhere from 50 to 60 miles away from the Champaign-Urbana area, but with forward motion of 60 miles per hour plus, these storms are going to be knocking on our door here within the next hour or so. You can continue south from there, and we've got a very intense supercell that just moved through the St. Louis metro area. This one being called a particularly dangerous situation. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Edwardsville, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour, I apologize. So this one, that's southwest of the WILL severe weather coverage area, but that is a very intense supercell. And tornado warnings continue north from there as well. So numerous tornado warnings in effect, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, really in an almost continuous line from just west of Bloomington all the way down to the St. Louis metro area. Storms continue off across central and southern Missouri. We've got tornado warnings with confirmed tornadoes across portions of Arkansas, Tennessee, into Kentucky ongoing right now. And I do want to mention that we had a confirmed tornado that tracked from near Virginia toward Petersburg. That's with the storms that are moving toward Bloomington normal. And we were able to pick up the debris signature there on the radar, and it appeared that this was a rather long track tornado. So again, not only are conditions favorable, we're seeing tornadoes ongoing with some of these storms. So you've got to take the warning seriously and react if one is issued in your area.
And to remind people, we are under a tornado watch in central Illinois. That includes Macon, Vermilion, Champaign, Piatt, Ford counties, all until 2 a.m. Central Time. And if you're listening to us in western Indiana, that tornado watch is until 3 a.m. Eastern Time in Indiana. And we're talking a lot about a lot of storms on the eastern edge of Missouri, western Illinois. Can you kind of give us a timeline of what we could see the storms arrive in Macon County, Champaign County, and Vermilion?
Sure. Well, it's going to be very soon. As we started the broadcast here and gave our first update at the top of the hour, these storms were pushing from eastern Missouri into western Illinois. The storms are already crossing the Interstate 55 corridor, though, from near Bloomington down towards Springfield. The storms have cleared the Springfield metro area, so Springfield is in the clear for right now. You head south from there, and the storms are beginning to approach and cross the Interstate 55 corridor all the way down to St. Louis. So as I take a look at, the storms as they approach Decatur, we're talking about maybe 20 to 30 miles away to your southwest, moving at 60 miles per hour. You've got about, half an hour there. And then as we talk about Champaign-Urbana, Champaign County, these storms are anywhere from 60 to 70 miles away. Moving at that speed, 60 to 65 miles per hour, we're talking about within the next hour or so. Champaign-Urbana, we're probably talking about 9:30 p.m., maybe looking at these warnings moving into our area. So Decatur, you got about half an hour. Bloomington, knocking on your door there in the next 15 to 30 minutes. And then Champaign-Urbana, we're talking about maybe within the hour, these storms approaching the area. And that continues off to the south. If you're listening in, Mattoon, Effingham, we've got storms approaching your area as well within the next 1 to 2 hours as well. So this is a widespread threat where everybody across the WILL severe weather coverage area is currently under the gun for severe weather of one form or another within the next 1 to 3 hours. So now is the time to be paying attention to radar, making sure you've got ways to get these warnings, and making sure that you've got a plan here and somewhere to be in the next 30 minutes to an hour or two, depending on where you live.
And I see another tornado warning. It's just popped up near Bloomington. And while you look at that, I just want to remind people, if you have your cell phones, charge them right now, because if you are caught in a storm or the power goes out in your neighborhood or whatever, you're going to you want to have your cell phone charged so you can continue to listen to us here on the radio or on our app. And also get things like bike helmets, so that if you have a tornado warn system in your storm, in your area, you can put those bike helmets on, protect your head, and then go to a room on the lowest level of your home, put a lot of walls in between you, get away from windows, and ride out the storm. And if you're out on the road listening to us, driving, get to a sturdy shelter. Don't park under a highway overpass. It's one of the most dangerous places to be. So you can tell us about that latest tornado warning, Andrew.
Sure. All right. So we do have a new tornado warning, this one north of Bloomington. This is southeastern Woodford County and northwestern McLean County. We've got at 8:30 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Carlock, or 7 miles southeast of Eureka, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. This dangerous storm will approach the El Paso area around 8:55 p.m. El Paso is along Interstate 39. So if you're traveling again on Interstate 39 between Kappa, approaching El Paso, up towards Panola, we want to be making a plan right now. Pull over, find a town here. If you're in El Paso, seek shelter. The storm is going to be on you here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. That'll continue toward Gridley as well as we head through the next 15 to 20 minutes there on the Highway 24 corridor. So near the Interstate 39 and Highway 24 corridor, that's where we have this new tornado warning, an area of rotation approaching that area. Tornado warnings continue south from there, though. So it's very likely We'll see tornado warnings continue to be issued across McLean County and the Bloomington Normal area as well over the next hour or so. And then the severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect as you head south from there, south of Lincoln toward areas just east of Springfield. Into southern Sangamon County. I apologize. And then again, tornado warnings continuing down near the St. Louis metro area as well. We continue to see that confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado northeast of Edwardsville, now moving east at 55 miles per hour. That's a great point you brought up about charging your phones now. We want to, even if you don't have a tornado impact nearby, some of these storms producing damaging winds, we could certainly be looking at power outages as we head through the rest of the overnight there. And I want to stress, too, that all of these storms that I'm tracking right now, the potential tornadic area is completely wrapped in rain. So these tornadoes are not going to be something you're going to be able to see. Maybe you're seeing lightning here. You're hoping to get a glimpse of that, before you head for shelter. And that's a poor plan. I want to stress to you, if you've got a tornado warning in effect, or you've got these storms approaching, just seek shelter. Don't wait for any sort of confirmation, because if the tornado approaches, it's going to be hidden in the darkness and in the rain. And again, moving at 60 to 70 miles per hour, you're going to have very little time to react once you get that oh no feeling when you see the winds beginning to pick up or see some other warning sign of a tornado. So this is not something where you want to wait to confirm. The fast storm motions, nighttime, rain-wrapped nature of the tornadoes makes this extremely dangerous, and it's one where you just better safe than sorry. You know what? It's maybe you luck out. Maybe you get missed here, but I would rather you just be seeking shelter right now rather than waiting for some sort of confirmation.
And again, just if you're just joining us, you're listening to special coverage of severe weather here on WILL AM 580. And I'm Reginald Hardwick, and News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media. I'm joined by meteorologist Andrew Pritchard. And a reminder again, we are under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. Central Time for most of central Illinois. But already we're starting to see a lot of tornado warned storms and even a few severe thunderstorm warnings. And we also want to remind you, we're going to be checking in every half hour or so until conditions warrant, and we need to do more. You can also listen to our coverage on illinoisnewsroom.org or will.illinois.edu. Just click on the AM 580 button at the top. You can also go to the WILL app. And again, charge your cell phones now if you're in Champaign County, Vermilion County, Macon County, because if the power goes out, you can still continue to get updates from us and from other sources and weather. We're also updating our Illinois Newsroom Facebook and Twitter pages. This is a very serious situation. Andrew, I really want to ask you real quickly, because I know it's December and it was very rainy earlier today. So people are wondering, where is this severe weather coming from? Why are we seeing such an outbreak tonight?
Yeah, well, we've got a very potent storm system here. And what I mean by that is a very strong, very intense area of low pressure tracking through the Midwest. On the north side of this, across portions of the northern plains into the upper Midwest, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, portions of Iowa, they're seeing heavy snow and strong winds. So on the north side of this, we've got a winter storm ongoing. On the south side, where we've got very strong southerly flow, the important feature with this storm system is a very strong low-level jet stream. And so that has drawn deep moisture, warm and unstable air mass northward from the Gulf of Mexico. You saw all the fog out there this morning. That's the very deep moisture that's arriving here. Tropical air mass that's much more, on par with what we'd see in the spring. So there's a couple ways that you can destabilize an environment here as we talk about priming it for severe storms. And the most common way is to bring out that sunshine. We see that a lot in the spring and the summer. The sun comes out, it's warm and it's heavy. You can feel it in the air. This is not like that. There's another way you can do this, and it's by advecting a very unstable air mass beneath the very cold air above our heads associated with the upper level low. So to not get too complicated, simply put, we've drawn this warm air mass up on very strong southerly winds. If you're stepping outside right now, you'll notice that southerly wind beginning to increase, and that has provided the fuel for the thunderstorm development. And then the very strong winds in the lower, middle, and upper levels of the atmosphere here, those winds turning with height, that brings the rotation that helps take these storms, and give them longevity. It helps them begin to rotate. And that's what's really set the stage for the severe weather across the area. I wanted to mention something here that just came to my mind while you were talking. And I want to stress that even if you end up in a severe thunderstorm warning, don't take that as a reason to maybe relax a little bit. If you end up under a severe thunderstorm warning, I want you seeking shelter as well. Not only because of the risk of damaging winds here, but as these storms potentially transition toward a more linear mode, we are absolutely still going to have the risk of embedded tornadoes within that. We can easily get little spin ups, or perhaps with such a volatile environment in place right now, more sustained circulations within those linear storms. So, I say that thinking of Decatur. If you're in Macon County here, likely to get a warning of one form or another within the next half hour or so. And I just want to stress, if it does end up being a severe thunderstorm warning, I still need you taking shelter, because I'm seeing little areas here as I look at the radar along the leading edge there that could, with very little notice, spin up and produce a tornado. And it very may well be that that happens before a tornado warning is issued. So don't wait for an upgrade to a tornado warning or anything like that. If you're, in the Decatur area or something where we've got these severe thunderstorm warnings approaching. To our southwest, also approaching the southern portion of the WILL severe weather coverage area, we've got a new tornado warning for northern Madison County, northwestern Fayette County, southeastern Macoupin County, and Montgomery County in south central Illinois. At 8:44 p.m., a tornado-producing storm was located over Bennold, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. This storm is going to, let me go ahead and switch radars here. This is going to be approaching the Litchfield area, Hillsboro, Taylor Springs, Irving, Witt, Nokomis, Ullman. This is going to be moving right up the Highway 16 corridor, potentially toward the Pana area in the next 45 minutes to an hour. And we continue to draw that forward. That would be a storm that could potentially impact you there in Shelbyville, Sullivan, and then eventually toward the I-57 corridor in the Tuscola, Arcola, Mattoon area. So I'm working pretty far in advance here, but that's because of the very fast storm motions associated with these storms, moving 60 to 70 miles per hour. These will be on us in no time as they, progress past Interstate 55 now. That's on the Bloomington to Springfield to St. Louis corridor. These storms will be approaching the Interstate 57 corridor from Kankakee to Champaign down to Mattoon, Charleston, and Effingham within the next 1 to 2 hours as well.
So these storms are moving fast. Imagine if you're on the highway, I imagine, driving 65, 70 miles an hour. These storms are doing the same thing.
Yeah, they are moving very quickly, and I'm seeing concerning things when I look at the velocity here with this storm that's moving down Interstate 72 near the Illiopolis area. So, I mean, if you can do me a favor, if you're in Illiopolis, Niantic, Harristown, Mount Auburn, up toward Warrensburg, Forsyth, Decatur, start making your plans now and potentially head to shelter. At the very least, you got a severe storm producing some damaging gusty winds there, but at worst case scenario, we've got a storm that maybe is producing some embedded tornadic spin-ups with that. So again, in the Interstate 72 corridor, that storm eventually making its way towards Champaign-Urbana as we get toward 9:30 and 10 o'clock.
Okay. Again, to reiterate, we have a tornado watch for central Illinois, including Champaign, Vermilion, Piatt, Ford, Macon counties, and definitely want to stay tuned to WILL AM 580 and also the WILL app, and also online, illinoisnewsroom.org and will.illinois.edu. And we will continue to update you at the top of the hour and bottom of the hour, and as warranted if we need to break in more.
Got a new tornado warning coming in now from McLean County.
Okay.
This one may, let me wait for it to pop up on my screen. I was just notified on my phone, but I'll get it up here just to make sure that it doesn't include the Bloomington Normal metro area. I think that I see the area of rotation that they're talking about. This would be south of Hopedale, south of the Highway 122 corridor, north of Highway 136. Give me just a moment for this warning to pop up, and we'll go ahead and let you know where they're warning for. Let's see. Oh, I think I can pull it up right here.
I think I have and on the Twitter it says tornado warning, including Bloomington and Normal.
That would make sense. That aligns with what I'm seeing here with the potential area of rotation with this storm. So I still don't have the actual warning up, but I am seeing a supercell here with some rotation near. Now the latest update I've got is near Armington. Looks like where that area of rotation is going to be. And that is south of Stanford, west of McLean, west of Funk's Grove. There's the new warning, and this does include Bloomington Normal. Let me pull the text up and we'll get you the details on this one. This is a tornado warning for western McLean County in central Illinois until 9:30 p.m. At 8:49 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Armington, or 15 miles north of Lincoln, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. This dangerous storm will be near Stanford at 8:55, Bloomington and Danvers around 9:05. So Bloomington normal, you're seeking shelter now. We've got a tornado warning with a potential tornado approaching the Bloomington normal area within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Again, these storms moving extremely fast. You don't want to wait until you've spotted something that gives you reason to head for shelter. I'm telling you to head to shelter right now. And the same thing holds true as you head south from there. Even though we don't have a tornado warning in effect for Macon County right now, and still waiting on even a severe thunderstorm warning, I've seen concerning areas here on the radar where I'm afraid we may see spin-ups here as these storms move into the Macon County area. So if you're in Decatur, surrounding communities there, I need you to be thinking about heading to shelter in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then, of course, the most intense supercell right now is southwest of our area here. I'm seeing a signature here for an extremely dangerous tornado across, again, the Highway 16 corridor. Let me give you some towns in the path here with this one. Very strong rotation near New Douglas, heading towards Sorrento, Panama. This is going to be near Taylor Springs, Coffeen, Fillmore, Bingham. If I'm mentioning your town here, I need you to head to shelter. This is the tornado warning for Bond County in south central Illinois and central Madison County in south central Illinois. And then we've also got the tornado warning that extends north and east from there. I'm trying to pull that one up as well. This is the one that goes along the Highway 16 corridor from Hillsborough up toward Nokomis, and then eventually toward the Pana area. Very intense supercell across that region.
Wow. And when you say, seek shelter and say you're at home already and you're listening to this, you're talking about, again, lowest level, the home, a lot of walls in between you and any sort of outdoor walls or windows. Tell us more about where people should shelter.
Certainly. Well, the lowest level of your home or business or apartment building is going to be where you want to be. You want to, the wind speeds increase with height. So the lower that you can get, basement, best case scenario, lower level interior room is going to be your next best bet. So if you've got a bathroom, you can get in the bathtub there. The piping and will help give you a little bit of shelter there. But then you also you want to put as many walls between you and the tornado as possible. That protects you from potential flying debris, anything like that. So certainly away from windows. Again, if you're on the road and storms are approaching, you want to be finding a sturdy shelter there as well, making sure that you're not out on the open road in the open as these storms approach. And again, I'm continuing to see an area that I'm concerned about near the Niantic area. This is moving out of the severe thunderstorm warning and into Macon County. So again, no warning in effect, but I really, on the Interstate 72 corridor, Niantic, Harristown, Decatur, up toward Warrensburg and Forsyth, go ahead and seek shelter for me. And again, that means basement. That means lower level of your home. And then same thing for you up in Bloomington Normal, where we do have the tornado warning in effect. Again, tracking an area of rotation, it's exiting the Stanford area. And then it's going to be moving toward Bloomington Normal here within, the next 15 to 20 minutes. This kind of along and south of Highway 9, moving into the Bloomington Normal area.
And again, if you're just tuning in to us, and I think we're actually going to just stay on until the top of the hour and a little bit over. You're listening to WILL AM 580, HD1, and HD3 Urbana. I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media, and I'm joined by Andrew Pritchard, a meteorologist, who, when it's in the summertime, he's out chasing these storms, but we think it's more safe to have them inside, and potentially seeing a lot of tornadoes develop here. We saw a lot of them develop in Missouri. They've now crossed into Illinois, and again, we have a tornado watch for much of central Illinois until 2 a.m. Central Time. And Andrew, can you tell me just how many active warnings we have right now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and summarize that. And again, you're right. I'm practicing what I preach here. The rain wrapped nighttime nature of these tornadoes is such that they're just going to be not visible. So, again, don't wait for confirmation. Just be in your safe shelter now. How many tornado warnings do we have in effect? We've got one across northern McLean County, another one moving into central McLean County. So, two in the McLean County area. We've got two severe thunderstorm warnings in the Springfield and Lincoln area. And then we've got another pair of tornado warnings with that very intense supercell that's moving north of the Interstate 70 corridor. So 4 tornado warnings ongoing in the state of Illinois. Continue south from there. We've got tornado warnings in effect in Missouri. We've got numerous tornado warnings across Kentucky and Tennessee. And tornado warnings continue back into Arkansas as well, where we've already had devastating, strong tornadoes. So this is a widespread severe weather outbreak. It's impacting us here in central Illinois, but not just in Illinois. It's also in surrounding states here, Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas. Just the entire warm sector of this big storm system that's moving through the Midwest has been primed and is capable of producing these rotating thunderstorms.
Wow, and it just is a reminder that severe weather can happen anytime, any time of the year. I know we're thinking it's December 10th, and we should be seeing snow. Actually, I don't think we've had a big snow here in central Illinois yet this fall, but here we are dealing with severe weather and the possibility of very intense winds, either straight line or tornadic.
That's correct. Yeah, even if you're in these severe thunderstorm warnings, that these could be producing damaging wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. And then again, I mentioned the potential for embedded spin up tornadoes, even with some of these more linear storms as well. So damaging winds and isolated tornadoes continue to be the primary threats with these storms as they move through the area.
And a reminder, if you are in Champaign County, maybe Vermilion County, maybe to the east, go ahead and charge your cell phones, keep them, charged up. Maybe grab those bike helmets, think about where you're going to go in your home if there is a tornado warned storm in your area, or even a severe thunderstorm warning for your area, so that you can get away from the windows and put yourself as in between, or yourself and thick walls in between you and the outer walls. And if you're out on the road, look for sturdy shelter. If you're maybe traveling on 74 or 70, I guess, in the going east, definitely look for, places to get sturdy shelter. And do not park under a highway underpass. It's one of the worst places you can be, and it also will stop traffic behind you, and those people very much could become storm victims. I see another severe thunderstorm warning that just popped up.
Yep, I am waiting to get that on my feed here. Let's see where that is. I believe it's McLean County that we just saw that warning come out. We've got a very big severe thunderstorm warning. I just got it to pop up here. This is going to be, let's see, we'll pull up the text on this. It includes multiple counties here. Big warning again. All right, so the National Weather Service in Lincoln has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Sangamon County, northwestern Moultrie County, western Piatt County, DeWitt County, southeastern McLean County, and Macon County in central Illinois. So as promised, Decatur, here's your warning. This is in effect until 9:45 p.m. Got at 8:58 p.m. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Hayworth to near Stonington, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Hazard, of course, 60 miles per hour winds and the potential for spin-up tornadoes here. Some additional information as well. Other locations in the path of these storms include Decatur, Mount Zion, Long Creek, Oriana, Saybrook, Cerro Gordo. This also includes Interstate 72 between mile markers 124 and 164, Interstate 74 between mile markers 146 and 164. And additionally, that tornado watch continues until 2 o'clock this morning. And as I look at the storm, this is the one where, again, it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but there's the potential for tornadoes to spin up along the leading edge here with very little notice. So severe thunderstorm warning, that doesn't mean you sigh a breath of relief. It means you head to shelter now because the storm is knocking on your door. So Other towns within the warning here, we've got Hayworth, Leroy, Saybrook, Empire, Farmer City, DeWitt, Clinton, the Maroa area, Weldon, DeLand. This is going to be approaching Monticello, Cisco as you head down the Interstate 72 corridor, Argenta, Forsyth, Harristown. On the south end here, we got Blue Mound, Macon, Mount Zion, Long Creek. You are all in that warning. And then you head south from there. We still got that very intense supercell that's going to be making its way into the southwestern portion of the coverage area within the next hour or two. So as I'm looking at the velocity here, again, I continue to be kind of concerned about the Interstate 72 corridor approaching the Highway 51 corridor from northern Macon County into western Macon County is where I'm seeing the most concerning signature here as far as maybe a spin-up tornado goes. So again, if you're in Decatur, Forsyth, Oriana, Argenta, I especially need you in shelter, but if you're in this severe thunderstorm warning, I just need you to be seeking shelter just to play it safe. And then in Champaign County, that means we're next. We've got this warning into Piatt County now. It stops just shy of Monticello. So from Monticello up toward the Champaign-Urbana area on the Interstate 72 corridor, we'll be watching for this to make its way in here probably in the next half an hour to an hour. I still think probably 9:30 to 10 o'clock. That's going to be Champaign County's threat window. And then as we zoom back up and take a look at things in McLean County, we've still got a tornado warning in effect for McLean County. Not seeing the very obvious, ongoing tornado signature there. And this storm is going to be exiting the Bloomington Normal area here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So Bloomington Normal, you're in safe shelter now. You'll probably get the all clear, at least for now, in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then this threat rapidly approaching Interstate 57. So as you head toward, Kankakee, Onarga, or heading down to Paxton, Champaign-Urbana, Mattoon, Charleston, Tuscola, and then down toward Effingham, your time is coming in the next half an hour to 90 minutes or so. This thing is going to be on the Interstate 57 corridor. We've got other thunderstorms popping up in advance of this. So in Champaign-Urbana, we're already starting to see some lightning strikes. I'm in the studio here, but maybe hearing some rumbles of thunder approaching Champaign-Urbana, getting up toward the Rantoul area, spreading up toward Interstate 57. So a lot of thunderstorm activity ongoing across the area. It's a rainy, lightning-filled night, very rumbly. This line is going to be out of here as we get into, past 11, 12 o'clock. So it's moving quick. Just bear with me. Be ready to head to shelter if you haven't already. And we'll continue to watch this over the next hour or two. But the storms continue to rapidly progress to the east across the region.
If you're just joining us, I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media. I'm here in studio with meteorologist Andrew Pritchard. We're having a special report to keep you informed on severe weather moving through our area right now. And you are listening to WILL AM 580 HD1 and HD3 Urbana. And just want to mention again, there's a tornado watch for much of central Illinois until 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Central Time, I should say, 3 a.m. Eastern for folks that may be listening in western Indiana. And again, we just had a severe thunderstorm warning issued for 9:45, and I was just thinking about, this is not the time if you're thinking about getting on the highway and going from Bloomington to Champaign on 74 or Decatur to Champaign on 72. This is just not the time to go out.
Yep. If you're listening now in the WILL severe weather coverage area, basically where you are now is where you're going to be when these storms roll through. The tornado warning has just expired for the Bloomington Normal area. So as I said there, I wasn't really seeing a strong area of rotation, and that storm is exiting the Bloomington Normal area. So the severe thunderstorm warning continues for southeastern McLean County. That's the only warning in effect right now for McLean County. And that warning continues down toward the Decatur area as well. And then the only tornado warnings that we have in effect now are in the southwestern portion of the area. These are, approaching Hillsborough, Nokomis. I want to look at Taylorville here because I know folks are probably on edge in the Taylorville area. We don't have a warning in place right now, although these storms are approaching the Taylorville area now. So, if you're home, you're in Taylorville, it makes you feel better, go ahead and head to shelter there because, again, the nature of some of these storms is that tornadoes can spin up very quickly. So Just because a warning's not in effect doesn't mean that you should let your guard down. If the storms are approaching, just do me a favor and head to shelter. Just playing it safe is the way to go with storms like this. It looks like the line of severe storms is definitely knocking on your door there in Decatur, Forsyth, up Highway 51. These storms are starting to cross the Highway 51 corridor as you head up into McLean County as well. And then again, tornado warnings continuing across. This is going to be, let me pull up the text here, Bond County, Fayette County, Montgomery County, and then north of that, we've got a tornado warning in effect for northwestern Fayette and southern Montgomery counties. That's in effect until 9:30.
So right now, and I think we're going to wrap up in a little bit here, Andrew, but I want to give you a chance just to kind of give us a kind of wide view of the land and, you know, what are the active warnings right now, and then again, the timeline for moving through Champaign-Urbana.
Yep, so right now in effect across central Illinois, we've got the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for northeastern Sangamon County, northwestern Moultrie County, western Piatt County, DeWitt County, southeastern McLean County, and Macon County in central Illinois. Again, severe thunderstorm warning, but the potential for tornadoes to spin up quickly with that one. And then you head off to the south, the other warnings that are in effect, those are the tornado warnings that I just mentioned that continue for Bond County, Fayette, and southern Montgomery counties here. And we've still got at 9:06 p.m., so 1 minute ago, a confirmed tornado located over Coffeen, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. So again, this one not in the immediate WILL severe weather coverage area, but a storm that is producing a tornado just south of Highway 16. So I've been mentioning this corridor as well, even though it's not in the immediate WILL severe weather coverage area. Perhaps you're streaming online, listening to us here. So Coffeen, Fillmore, Bingham, just north of Ramsey. The storm's going to be moving toward Oconee, Herrick, near Highway 51. This, again, would be moving into Shelby County within the next half an hour or so. So no warning in effect for Shelby County, including you in Shelbyville, Cowden, Stewardson. But you're next in line, and this storm is not of the linear variety. This is a what we call a discrete supercell thunderstorm. So this is the storm of all storms that we get here in the Midwest, and this is an isolated storm that is rotating very rapidly. And again, confirmed tornadoes here in progress. This is the storm that moved out of the St. Louis area, produced a tornado near I'm drawing a blank, Edwardsville, there we go, and is now approaching Shelby County within the next half hour or so. So that's kind of summarizing what's going on. We have the big severe thunderstorm warning from McLean County down to Macon County, and that's the storm that will eventually make its way into Champaign County. This one a more linear storm mode, and then we've got the isolated supercell as you head further off to the south. And then zooming out again, you know, I want to mention this is a widespread event. We've got tornado warnings still ongoing in Missouri, Arkansas, and Kentucky. And then these storms will continue across portions of Tennessee and Indiana during the overnight as well. So a widespread severe weather event ongoing here across much of the Midwest and the Ohio River valleys.
Well, thank you, Andrew, for keeping us posted. And what we're going to do is join Fresh Air in progress, but we want to remind you that we are continuing to share any new information from the National Weather Service on the Illinois Newsroom Facebook and Twitter pages, and we will continue to update at the bottom and top of the hour. Our next update's at 9:30, unless we are warranted and the new warning comes into the area, then we'll get on the air sooner. So for now, I'm Reginald Hardwick, along with meteorologist Andrew Pritchard, and you're listening to WILL AM 580, HD1, and HD3 Urbana.
Visual flow, or more direct access to your emotions. He stages the numbers like an old-school Hollywood classicist, with none of the overly jumpy editing that might distract from the dancing.
Okay.
When the Jets and the Sharks meet up at a school dance.
All right, so if you're still watching here on the live feed, I'll flip over and show you the radar. Here's the big storm I've been referencing near Coffeen. That's going to be moving into Shelby County, approaching the Shelbyville area. And again, I talk about, you know, we've got kind of a messier, rainy, linear mode as you move off to the north in McLean County down toward Macon County. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's kind of filling the gap there. So from Taylorville down to Nokomis, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. We'll bring up the text on this.
Big comic relief number of Chief Officer Krupke
let's
tossing
see.
around a pistol during a tense performance of the song Cool.
All right, so southern Christian County, Moultrie County, Shelby County, southern Piatt, and southeastern Macon County until 10:15 p.m. 909, a severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from near Blue Mound to 6 miles northwest of Nokomis, moving east at 50 miles per hour. It'll be near Blue Mound at 9:15, Macon around 9:20, Pana at 9:25, and then south of that we've got the big supercell producing one or more big tornadoes as it moves through Bond and Montgomery County, eventually moving toward Shelby County as well within the next half hour or so. So here's Champaign. If you're listening to me or watching me here in the Champaign-Urbana area, it's rainy out there, it looks like right now. Maybe some lightning starting to populate the sky, maybe some rumbly thunder. The stronger thunderstorm activity now is over the Decatur area. So that puts it about, 40 miles away from Champaign-Urbana, moving at 50 to 60 miles per hour. We have less than an hour. So between 9:30 and 10 p.m., these storms will be impacting us here in Champaign-Urbana. I'll flip over here. Take a look at the velocity, and not seeing anything terribly concerning now as we talk about the northern storm that's going to be approaching Champaign County here within the next 90 minutes to an hour. But you head off to the south, here's where we've got the very strong rotation with this supercell that's going to eventually be moving into Shelby County within the next hour or so. So I'm going to give myself a break from talking here for a moment, but see if I can't prop this up facing the radar at least for a moment so you can stare at that while we wait for our next cut in.
Is that YouTube?
Yes.
Oh. Is it? It's not Shambana weather.
I shared on Shambana weather. It's my personal YouTube that's streaming it right now, though. But I shared the link there on Shambana weather. There you go. It's on that one. Yeah, it's that corridor right between like Champaign and Effingham that I'm really concerned about now, along Interstate 57 over the next hour or two. Most concerned about kind of Mattoon to Neoga. That's going to be in the path of that bigger supercell, the one that's alone. We talk about this having a wide open environment off to its south. So it's drawing unstable air from the south and to the east that's sustaining that storm. As you get further north, storms are a little bit more messy. So we talk about maybe storms interfering with each other a little bit. They don't get quite that pristine environment to really tap into, but you can still get spin-ups there. And we have such a wound-up storm system here that it's certainly possible that some of these storms could rapidly spin up at least a brief tornado or worse. So even in the severe thunderstorm warnings, we need you seek and shelter here. If you're sending me messages in the chat, I'll try and check those here in a moment. I'm having a tough time actually seeing those come in, so I apologize if you're asking questions and I'm not getting to you. It's not intentional. It's just got a couple screens in front of me, and I wasn't necessarily prepared for a big live stream here. So this is kind of on a whim, just to provide some extra coverage, multiple ways for folks to hear what's going on.
You want me to grab another my laptop?
Let's see. I think that'd be all right. I don't need that actually. I'll see if I'll grab my phone here and see what's going on in the chat. Let's see, live chat. All right, give me a moment here to catch up on some of these. Clarksville. See, I saw a question there. How bad will it be in Clarksville? We're talking about Clarksville, Illinois. Um, the wind just broke your window there, Elena. Where are you located? I would like to know where we've got wind-shattering winds. Elena Cruz, you can tell me where you are, where you just had your window shattered. You were in a tornado warning. I am curious where you are. Bloomington. Wow, in Bloomington, you have broken windows. Is that on a home, apartment, car? And then Clarksville, I got a question there. I assume we're talking about in southeast Illinois, north of Interstate 70. In Clarksville, I want you to be paying attention because you're a little bit more in the path of that big supercell that's again coming out of Montgomery and Bond County, and that one's going to be moving into Shelby County. And then if you just extrapolate that forward, you know, you've got an hour or two, but this supercell concerns me as it moves along in north of Interstate 70 over the next hour or two. Is there a high tornado risk in Champaign? You know, I'm gonna just say yes, so that you seek shelter there, because we've got severe storms approaching Champaign in the next hour or so, and these storms could produce tornadoes with very little advance notice. So as I look at the radar up here, we're looking at the velocity. You see kind of this line right here. That's the leading edge of the storms. That's where you're seeing the strong wind gusts, but this is also where you can get little brief tornadoes. So you see little signatures like that. I don't think we have a tornado ongoing at the moment. We just got a new update here, but it's along that leading edge where you can't rule it out. So the leading edge now from Orienta to Argenta along that kind of northeast to southwest jog in Interstate 72. This will be approaching Monticello. So at the very least, the risk for severe winds is going to be very high in Champaign. You can see how close these storms are, but the environment in Champaign-Urbana is certainly conducive to rotating storms. So we want to make sure we just take this seriously as we head through the next hour or so. And then we've got these other storms that are moving out of the Taylorville area. So Taylorville, you are going to be in the clear shortly, assuming we don't see any additional development off to the west, which I'm not anticipating at the moment, but we can't completely rule out. Let me go ahead and zoom back in here, though. This storm approaching Highway 51 near Mowequa down toward Pana. This storm a little more isolated. And then you look at the velocity here, you've got kind of these brighter colors. These are strong southeasterly winds. This is inflow being drawn into the storm. So this storm in Christian County, south of Taylorville, that's going to be moving into northern Shelby County. That concerns me as a storm that could produce a tornado here in short time. And then you head south from there. Look at this thing, Ramsey. This is that southern storm. Very strong rotation there as this thing approaches Ramsey and then eventually into southern portions of Shelby County. That's the most intense storm, but you head north from there. Taylorville, I'm concerned. Not Taylorville, I'm sorry, south of Taylorville, I'm concerned. Taylorville, you're almost in the clear, but it's the storm just south of that that concerns me. Let's see if we can pick up some towns just south of that storm. This is going to be near Highway 29. Go ahead and get this off of the screen there. If you live near, a Wanaco up toward Assumption, go ahead and just seek shelter for me. Again, severe thunderstorm in effect, but this is a more isolated supercell with strong inflow feeding into it, and that is a storm that could quickly get that tornadic look. I'm going to go ahead and set the phone down again just to give myself a breather before we go live on the air here at WILL again. So again, if you're paying attention to the stream, you're in the studio with us at WILL AM 580. You can hear us on the air, AM 580, as we cut in. Again, at the bottom of the hour, you can also stream live online. I've shared the web stream link there online on social media as well. Again, I wish I was just sharing exclusively the radar so you weren't looking at my face for the whole feed, but just kind of doing this as a supplemental coverage for you all as we watch these storms come through. So at least you can hear what we're talking about, and as I'm able, I'll make sure I'll get the radar in front of you. But I'm going to take just a moment here, and rather than end the stream, I'm just going to keep it going, but it's going to be quiet for just a moment.
Do you have water or
Mhm.
okay.
Coles County, Got a question here. Anything in Coles County? Not yet, but it's going to be approaching Coles County, and I'm very concerned about that supercell, the one that's going to first move through Shelby County. I'm concerned about that one approaching Mattoon Charleston in the next hour. So Coles County, not yet, but yeah, I'm very concerned about your area here in the next hour or so. All right, I'm going to run to the restroom.
Okay.
Just point this at the radar. How about that? Oh, wow. That is a really strong rotation signature with that south storm. Oh, the town of Ramsey, I fear, is in trouble right now.
Where's that?
That is going to be in, I think, Bond County. Let me get the warning pulled up.
And then I just see a new tornado warning for
This is Fayette.
Shelbyville.
Okay, that is the storm that I've been really concerned about for the Shelbyville area.
Oh, that's
And Shelby. Yeah, it's just a bit south. That one's going to be approaching Mattoon Charleston. Echo.
Okay, well, that would that be so? That's I have no idea who listens to us.
Let's see. So this new warning is over Ramsey. Yep. It's going to be 13 miles north of Vandalia, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Cowden at 9:35, Shelbyville at 9:40. I promise you there is a tornado ongoing in the Ramsey area right now. This is going to approach Herrick. If you're in Herrick, you need to be seeking shelter right now. If you're in Cowden, you're seeking shelter right now as well. This is almost certainly a tornado in progress in this area.
Okay, Andrew, do you want to go now?
Mm-hmm.
That's in. Okay.
All right, stand by. We're going live again.
And you're listening to WILL AM 580, HD1, and HD3 Urbana. I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media. It's 9:26, and we're bringing you a special report on severe weather moving through central Illinois right now. And joining me in studio right now is Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist. He's been keeping track of lots of storms, and we just had a new tornado warning for our area, so let's get right to Andrew.
Yeah, this new tornado warning, I've been talking about Shelby County. Now is your time. Southern Shelby County, you have a tornado warning in effect until 10:15 p.m. At 9:22 p.m., a tornado-producing storm was located over Ramsey, 13 miles north of Vandalia, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. And as I look at the velocity signature, this is extremely strong rotation here. I promise you there's a tornado in progress near Ramsey, maybe just north of Ramsey on Highway 51. So if you're hearing me, I know it's just outside of the WILL severe weather coverage area, but if you're listening online in Herrick, in Cowden, Beecher City, and surrounding portions, that continues off toward Lakewood, Strasburg, Stewardson, Kingman, Shelbyville, you're in this warning as well. Windsor, you're in this warning as well. And again, this storm really concerns me. I think that we've got a significant tornado in progress in the Ramsey area. Again, no visual sighting here, but that's kind of expected with the rain-wrapped nature of some of these storms. And then you head off to the north there, and we've got the severe thunderstorm warning that continues for northwestern Moultrie, western Piatt, central DeWitt, and southeastern McLean and Macon counties. And the last update on this at 9:13, we had severe storms located along a line from Leroy to Argenta to near Macon, moving east at 50 miles per hour. And again, these storms capable of producing damaging wind gusts, but also carrying with them the potential for spin-up tornadoes along the leading edge there. So as these storms approach the Interstate 57 corridor from Champaign County south toward Arcola, Mattoon, Charleston, and then just north of Effingham, you need to be paying attention and considering heading to shelter now as these storms approach the area.
And again, we were listening to WILL AM 580 HD1 and HD3 Urbana. And Andrew, I know you've been looking at a lot of these storms, just tracking out of Missouri into Illinois, here in the Champaign-Urbana area, and then even into Danville. What is the timeline we're looking at?
So if you're listening to be along Interstate 57 from maybe Rantoul, Champaign, down to Charleston, we're talking about the next 1 hour or so. So I would imagine, warnings are probably coming for Champaign County, Douglas, Coles County. I would imagine whether it's severe thunderstorm or tornado warning, that's going to be coming out momentarily because these storms will be pushing into the Champaign, Douglas, and Coles County area within the next hour. Now, as we talk about the storms further off to the north, I'm talking about approaching Champaign County. These storms are a little bit more linear. I'm not seeing a significant rotation within those storms right now. That doesn't mean relax, but I want to be real with you that that I'm not seeing any obvious tornadic circulations, though I'm concerned about that, moving through Piatt County into Champaign County shortly. This line of storms continues. It's pushing through and out of the Decatur area right now. Decatur probably experiencing some heavy rain, lightning, maybe some gusty winds as well. That continues down toward the Moweaqua area. So ahead of that, Cerro Gordo, these storms will be moving into your area soon. Monticello, you'll be getting the strong winds soon. Mount Zion. And then as we head further south toward, let me get some towns here. Sullivan, we're going to be getting those winds soon as well. This is pushing out of the Taylorville area. So Taylorville, you are in the clear. Storms pushing off to the east from you now. We'll have to, of course, watch our backs. We still have the cold front off to the west, so it's not out of the question we could see some redevelopment behind this lead line of storms, which again right now extends from, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning all the way up near Joliet, so approaching the southern metro area of Chicago. So that gives you an idea of how widespread this event is. We've got severe storms approaching the Chicago area, approaching us here in Champaign-Urbana in the next hour. And then, of course, the tornado warning storm down near Effingham. And then as we zoom out, we've still got tornado warnings in effect across portions of Kentucky, moving into Tennessee out of Arkansas right now. And it appears that we've got a devastating tornado approaching Mayfield, Kentucky. So well out of our listening area, but no less concerning for folks down there. And just to kind of paint a picture of how widespread, how potent this storm system is. So I know in Champaign-Urbana, we're getting some rain here. We've got some lightning. The severe weather risk still off to the west of us here. The strongest portion of these storms is kind of between Farmer City and Mahomet on Interstate 74. So Mahomet, you'll be getting those gusty winds and heavy downpours in the next probably 15 to 30 minutes. Monticello, these storms are knocking on your door. Cerro Gordo, Mount Zion, you head south from there. Pretty intense storm over Moweaqua into the Radford area. Again, that was the storm I mentioned here. That had strong inflow feeding into it. I was concerned about a potential circulation with that one. No tornado warning in effect there. The strong winds approaching Assumption as well. And then you jump off to the south, and that's where we've got the likely tornado moving through the Herrick area now, very close to Herrick. Again, I've got a debris signature with this. That means that we've got a tornado in progress. We can see it on the radar. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can backtrack here and see where it's come from. But the Ramsey area up toward Dresser, up toward Herrick, likely a significant tornado ongoing, and that would continue toward Cowden. So if you're in Cowden, Strasburg, Stewardson, Shelbyville, Kingman, and Windsor in southern Shelby County, this is a confirmed tornado in progress. Cowden, 9:35. The Shelbyville area around 9:40. So we're talking the next few minutes to the next 10 minutes. And this is an observed tornado. This is confirmed in progress. I can see debris on radar. That means we've got damage occurring. Whether that was, in Ramsey or near Ramsey, I don't know yet. Could have been near the Dresser area, but as of the 9:29 radar scan, I would put this tornado near or in the town of Herrick, and it's going to continue moving north and east rapidly. So Cowden, you're next along the Highway 128 corridor from, near Shelbyville south to Cowden. Between those areas, you've got a tornado approaching right now. Clarksburg, you've got a tornado approaching. You need to be in a safe shelter now, not waiting for confirmation. Strasburg, big tornado approaching the area. Windsor, same thing. And then eventually, the storm is making on trajectory, I should say, for Interstate 57 near Mattoon, down toward Neoga. So if you're listening in Mattoon, Charleston, you've got a storm producing a tornado now. Let me go ahead and get the distance on this one so we can really do a better job of timing it out as we look further ahead to Interstate 57. So the storm about 28 miles away from Interstate 57. So from Mattoon to Neoga, along the Interstate 57 corridor, you got about half an hour before this storm that is producing a tornado now, not only producing a tornado, but what appears to be a rather significant tornado. This storm is approaching your area. And then head back to the north where we've got the more linear storm mode. So we're talking about, okay, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning now finally that includes Champaign-Urbana. We'll go ahead and get the warning text on that. Give me just a
Andrew,
go
I'm
ahead.
going to interrupt you, and I'm
Sure.
going to take a quick pause, just 10 seconds. We're going to also join in WILL FM listeners, especially now that we have warnings now in the Champaign-Urbana area. So give me a quick pause, and we're going to join everyone. Okay, you're listening to WILL AM 580, HD1 and HD3 Urbana, also FM 90.9. I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media. And we're bringing you a special report on potentially life-threatening severe weather in central Illinois. I'm joined in the studio with meteorologist Andrew Pritchard, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning just issued for the Champaign-Urbana area. Tell us about that, and also the tornado warning in our area.
All right, so yes, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This includes Champaign County. It also includes northwestern Vermilion County and eastern Piatt County. That's going to be in effect until 10:15 p.m. At 9:33 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Fisher to near Bement, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. The hazards here, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and again, the potential for brief tornadoes to spin up here with short notice. So you're in the severe thunderstorm warning now. I don't see any obvious areas of rotation moving into Champaign County right now, but I need you to head to a sturdy shelter now if you're in the Champaign-Urbana area. If you're in Champaign County, this warning includes Tolono, Philo, Ogden, Royal, Thomasboro, up to Rantoul, Fisher, Mahomet, Monticello, Bement, Ludlow, Gifford, Potomac. You're in this warning all the way up to Rankin and Hoopeston. We've also got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect further north from there. That continues all the way up Interstate 57, including Paxton, Loda, Onarga, Gilman, Danforth, Ashcombe, Clifton, Shabans. This warning here for southeastern Livingston County, Ford County, and western Iroquois County in east central Illinois until 10:15 p.m. This one at 9:26 p.m. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Forest to near Saybrook, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. So locations included in that one: Paxton, Gibson City, Gilman, Clifton, Chatsworth, Onarga, Forest, Shabans, Cissna Park, Piper City, Ashcombe, Buckley, Crescent City, Danforth, Melvin, Loda, Roberts, Elliott, Sibley, and Thawville. Again, you're seeking shelter now because you've got, at the very least, strong winds approaching, and at the very worst, you've got a storm capable of producing tornadoes.
Andrew, let me ask you, when you're saying seek shelter, so what does that mean if you're listening at home? And then what should people out driving, who may be listening, do?
Yep, if you're at home or a business, you're in a building, I want you in the basement. If you don't have a basement, you're in the lowest level possible. So first floor. If you can't get into a basement, get into an interior room. So that's often a bathroom or maybe a closet. You want to think about you're literally hiding from the storm. So you want to put as many walls between you and the storm as possible. If you got flying debris out there, your exterior walls will bear the brunt of that, and you hiding in the interior portion of your home or business will be protected from that flying debris. If you're on the road, if you're traveling on Interstate 57, if you're listening to me now, I need you to find the next exit and safely pull off. We don't want you stopping under the overpass. If you're listening to me under an overpass, move along. You're not safe there, and you're blocking traffic and making things more dangerous for folks behind you. I need you to find the next exit where maybe you can find a gas station or a rest stop to simply step inside and seek shelter within their buildings there. And, if you lose visibility, just pull off to the side of the road at the very least. Again, that's how we want you to be seeking shelter here. If you're along the Interstate 57 corridor, these storms are approaching you. And again, as you head further off to the south, that's what we're talking about, an ongoing tornado moving through southern portions of Shelby County.
And again, if you're joining us, we're bringing you some potentially life-threatening severe weather information in central Illinois. And we want to make sure we're keeping you informed, and we know we have a lot of people maybe listening while driving or listening at home. It's a very stormy, kind of unusual situation where it's December 10th. We're usually talking about snow this time of year, but because of the conditions and the kind of unstable atmosphere, we're talking about a major tornado outbreak. So we're cutting in and bringing you some more information, and I take it, Andrew, you have a little update on the tornado warning.
Yes, so we still have the tornado warning that is in effect for southern Shelby County at 9:29. I'm sorry, this is not the warning I was looking for. Give me just 1 second to pull up the tornado warning. There we go. All right, so at 9:34, here we go. As promised, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Cowden, or 11 miles southwest of Shelbyville, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. This is a PDS tornado warning. We very rarely see this issue. This is when, we have a confirmed large, dangerous tornado in progress with this storm. And again, near the Herrick area, this is going to be moving toward Cowden along Highway 28 and eventually towards Strasburg, Stewardson, Shelbyville. You're in the warning there. It looks like at current trajectory, the tornado would pass just south of Shelbyville, but you're going to bear the brunt of the supercell thunderstorm in Shelbyville. So large hail possible here. We've got radar indicated hail up to maybe an inch. And then, heavy rains and gusty winds, dangerous lightning going to be impacting you there in Shelbyville. You'll be in the core of that storm here very shortly and continuing to see debris lofted on the radar with this supercell as the potential tornado moves away from the Herrick area and begins to approach you in the Cowden area and just north of Cowden. Again, between Shelbyville and Cowden, approaching Strasburg and Stewardson is where we have this tornado in progress right now. And then you head further to the north. Again, storms beginning to approach the Interstate 57 corridor. We've got that severe thunderstorm warning for Champaign County, and then into northwestern Vermilion County, portions of eastern Piatt County. The most intense portion of that storm right now, as of 9:32, that's a rather old radar image, unfortunately. Let me see if I've got one over on the other program here. There we go, a little bit better. The most intense portion of this storm right now, moving through Fisher, moving through Mahomet. So it's going to be moving here into Champaign-Urbana, within the next 15 to 30 minutes. Right now, it looks like primarily talking about, heavy rain and some gusty winds with that storm right now. I'm not seeing any rotation approaching Champaign-Urbana. That doesn't mean we let our guard down. It doesn't mean that we leave our shelter. I'm just letting you know what I'm seeing on the radar here. And then these intense storms continue down towards Cerro Gordo and then into Dalton City. So kind of next in line here, Bement, Ivesdale, Hammond, Atwood, Lovington, Bethany. You're some of the next storms, some of the next towns that I think are going to be experiencing some of the severe weather impacts here, that being damaging wind gusts, heavy rain, and dangerous lightning. Continuing to see that potential tornadic circulation here, moving beyond the Cowden area here, but spreading across southern and southeastern portions of Shelby County. So Windsor, Strasburg, Stewardson, Clarksville, Shelbyville, you're in your shelter now. And if you're listening to me in Mattoon, along Interstate 57 from Neoga to Mattoon up toward Humboldt, you're next in line. So start making your plans. You've got about a half an hour before this storm is knocking on your door. And then we can continue off to the north along Interstate 57 in the Arcola area, Tuscola, Pasodum. You've got severe storms, a line of severe storms approaching from the west, where, again, not seeing any obvious rotation within that just yet, but certainly storms capable of producing some damaging winds, heavy rain, and lightning.
And even though there's not necessarily tornadic winds, straight line winds, and, these are very damaging winds, they certainly can still pack a punch, right?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, these straight line winds, they can produce damage on par with tornadoes. So, whether the strong winds are moving in a straight line or in rotating fashion, it's still causing damage. So, again, that's why we're not letting our guard down here in Champaign-Urbana, where right now it seems primarily like a damaging wind gust threat with these storms that still can produce damage. And again, these storms continue to have the potential for tornadoes as well. So Champaign-Urbana will see the rain picking up here shortly, and then maybe seeing some of those gusty winds as the line of storms moves in the next 15 minutes or so. The strongest part of the storm still just off to the west, beginning to move into the Bonneville and Monticello area down toward Bement, Ivesdale, and then eventually into Sodorus as well.
For those of you listening to us on AM 580 the rest of the evening, we've been saying charge your cell phones if you're to the east of these storms. Get those bicycle helmets to put on your head in case you need to seek shelter, because you want to protect your head if you're in the path of a tornado-warned storm, and prepare to go to your safe place, whether it's a closet, bathroom, basement on a lower level, away from windows, and in the interior part of your home. If you are on the road right now on I-74, just not a good place to be, right, Andrew? Just what should those folks do if you're thinking about going from Decatur to Champaign or Champaign to Danville?
Sure, yeah. If you had plans to travel along Interstate 72, I want to put those plans on the back burner. Whether or not you end up with those severe weather impacts, we've got heavy rain, lightning, overspreading the entire area. We've got rain and lightning in the Danville area. We've had that going on in Champaign-Urbana for a while. So just really a nasty day for travel. So it does look like this first line of storms, it is going to clear the Champaign-Urbana area within the hour. Unfortunately, you look back to the west, I said, so long as we don't see redevelopment, well, The St. Louis area is under another tornado warning, and that's going to be approaching the Edwardsville area, an area where we already had a strong tornado impact. We've got a new storm over the St. Louis area, and we've also got a couple of storms that are, not severe, but we've seen a couple of storms develop west of Springfield, kind of near Jacksonville, along the Interstate 72 corridor. So the first line of storms, again, approaching Interstate 57, and will be exiting east central Illinois here, within the hour, but we got to keep our eyes on the west. I just got an update from my colleague in Mahomet, said the winds were pretty strong in the Mahomet area. So even though I'm looking at the radar, and the radar, it looks kind of messy, but I know that we've got severe weather occurring in here because we're getting reports of these strong winds. So gusty winds in the Mahomet area, that's approaching Thomasboro, that's approaching us here in Champaign-Urbana. I would imagine those winds here in Champaign-Urbana, those are going to be ramping up in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So you're seeking your shelter here in Champaign-Urbana. And then as you head further off to the south of that, again, these storms approaching the rest of southern Champaign County as well. Ivesdale, Sedoris, Tolono, that corridor, you're going to be impacted with this in the next 15 to 30 minutes. You head further south from there. Storms exiting Cerro Gordo down to Dalton City. So the core of that storm going to be knocking on your door there in Hammond, Lovington, Atwood, up toward, again, the Bemet area. And then we've still got the tornado warning in effect in Shelby County, with the strongest part of that storm and that potential tornadic circulation making its way. I just got a new radar update. Looks like the strongest area of rotation right now is just south and west of you in Windsor, and just to your west in Strasburg. So Windsor and Strasburg, I need you seeking shelter. And then again, this is the storm that's knocking on your door in Mattoon and Charleston along the Interstate 57 corridor. So no warning in effect in Mattoon, Charleston now for Coles County, but you've got a tornadic storm, one that's produced multiple tornadoes already, knocking on your doorstep, and I do see some strong rotation within that storm. Again, a rain-wrapped circulation. This is not one where you can step outside. If you're out in the open, you're trying to use lightning, to catch a view of something. It's not going to happen today. These storms are moving rapidly. They are rain-wrapped. Any tornado is going to be concealed within the rain there, and it's going to be on you faster than you can react once you've seen something that concerns you. If you're standing on the porch, waiting for something to tell you to seek shelter, that's a bad plan. Because I'm telling you that if you're on your porch and you start to see, oh no, I need to run to shelter, it's going to be on you before you have time to react. With these 60 to 75 mile per hour storm motions, it's about as fast as we see. This is not uncommon for these late season severe weather events, but it's something to keep in mind here. And I'm looking at the velocity. Again, I've got a report of strong winds in the Mahomet area. Looking at the velocity here, it looks like we've got strong winds moving through Monticello right now as well. And so this will be moving into Champaign-Urbana very shortly. The core of these stronger winds just 10 miles away. So when we talk about, a 60 mile per hour storm motion, the math on that is easy. 10 miles away, you got about 10 minutes. So by 10 o'clock, I think we'll be seeing these gusty winds, potentially to severe levels, 60 miles per hour or higher, moving through the Champaign-Urbana metro and then surrounding communities. This warning includes all of Champaign County. So if you're, listening in Tolono, down to Pasodum, Philo, Ivesdale, Sedoris, you are in line for these strong wind gusts as well. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the rotation off to the south here. Let's see how things are progressing. Okay, so I don't have a new scan yet for the storm approaching Windsor and Strasburg. Also have some strong winds here and, a concerning signature near Lovington. So this is going to be the storm that's exiting Dalton City and now approaching Hammond and Atwood. This would be in, let me get my county right here. This is going to be in Moultrie County, potentially approaching southern Piatt County into Douglas County. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect there, but concerning signatures when it comes to, areas that may wrap up and produce a tornado. You do this enough and you can start to see these, concerning signs where you get strong inflow feeding into a storm. and you start to see that tightening of the velocity gradients, where you've got winds away from the radar and winds going toward the radar close together. I'm seeing that approaching the Lovington area. So, if you've been listening to me in Lovington, you're in shelter because you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, and I've advised you to seek shelter there already. But on the tail end of that storm, some concerning velocity signatures here where, potentially looking at a tornado spinning up near Lovington, Hammond, and toward Atwood. This storm would approach the Tuscola area and potentially far southern portions of Champaign County. So the Interstate 57 corridor, your time is now. This is from Ford County into Champaign County. And then while we don't have warnings for Douglas and Coles County, they're coming. So you might as well just make your plan now and start heading off to shelter, because whether it's a tornado or a severe thunderstorm warning, my direction is the same. There we go. I've got a new severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like, for portions of Piatt County. I don't have it popped up yet. We'll go ahead and see what this is in a moment, but maybe I'll pause talking here for just a second.
Sure, and I'm looking at the Twitter for the National Weather Service in Lincoln. It says including Charleston, Mattoon, and Tuscola until 10:45 for the severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay.
And again, if you're tuning into WILL AM 580 or FM 90.9, HD1 and HD3 Urbana, we are bringing you special reports on the severe weather moving through central Illinois right now. We have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings and a few tornado warnings in our area right now. We want to keep you informed. We know that we have people on the roads. We know we have people at home. And if you are in the kind of the eastern zones of our area, far east Champaign County, you still got a few minutes. If you're in Vermilion County, you probably got a little more time to charge your phone now. And if you have to go into your hiding place from severe storms, you can pull up the WILL app and click on AM 580, or you can listen online on illinoisnewsroom.org or will.illinois.edu to our coverage here. In addition, also, Andrew is streaming on YouTube on the
so it's on my it's my personal YouTube here. Again, this was kind of an impromptu thing, but if you head to the Champaign Weather Facebook page, you can find the link for that too. Or if you want to just hop onto the YouTube app, type into the search bar Sky Drama, SKYDRAMA. That will help you find that live severe weather coverage. You can open it up. Some of the time it's just pointed at my face, but you can at least listen to what we're talking about here in the studio. And at times when I'm able, I'll go ahead and point the camera toward the radar. But at the very least, I just wanted to offer up another way for people to follow along and listen to what we're talking about here behind the scenes as these storms approach. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that just came out for the Interstate 57 corridor from Pasodum all the way down to Neoga. This is another multi-county warning. I'm going to go ahead and set the phone back down here and let you know that in Coles County, eastern Moultrie County, southeastern Shelby County, southeastern Piatt County, Cumberland County, southern Champaign County, and Douglas County in east central Illinois, you got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 10:45 p.m. At 9:55 p.m., at 9:50, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Atwood to near Stewardson, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, the primary hazard there. The storm will be near Atwood at 9:55, Mattoon and Pasodum around 10:05, Lerna and Cooks Mill around 10:10. Other locations in this warning include Charleston, Humboldt, Homer, Ashmore, Raritan, Oakland, Hinsboro, and Newman. This also includes Interstate 57 between mile markers 170 and 222, and the Interstate 70 corridor between mile markers 121 and 126. I've also got a tornado watch in effect across the area until 2 o'clock this morning, and then I can give an update here on the potential. All right, I'm looking at the radar, and I'm going to call it here. I think we got a tornado in progress near or just south of Windsor. This is along Highway 16, approaching Mattoon, Charleston. This would also approach the very small community of Gaze on Highway 16, and then eventually no tornado warning in effect for the Mattoon, Charleston area, but this one, it looks like we're actually getting that now. So that's good news. Let me wait for this to pop up because looking at the radar, I think it's very likely we have a tornado in progress near or just south of Windsor, and that's going to be approaching Mattoon, Charleston.
And the Weather Service just warned for the tornado warning in Mattoon, including Oakland,
Okay.
Mattoon, and Newman until 10:30.
I'll likely get that here on my screen very shortly. So again, that it's if you've been listening, you've been hearing me talk about this storm, so it's not news to you in Mattoon, Charleston. Once I get this warning up, I'll give you the details on it, but you do have a tornado warning now that's been issued for the Mattoon area. I've got a new radar scan, and there is certainly a tornadic circulation between Windsor and Gaze on Highway 16. This one going to be making its way toward the Mattoon area in the next 10 minutes or so. So if you're listening to me in Mattoon, you're in your shelter now, or you're heading toward it. If you're on the road here in the Interstate 57 area between Neoga and Humboldt, you're finding a spot to stop now. Here's the warning. So I'm going to open this and we'll go ahead and take a look. This is another rather large warning with the fast storm motions. All right, so the National Weather Service in Lincoln has issued a tornado warning for central Coles County, southeastern Moultrie County, southeastern Douglas County, and east central Illinois until 10:30 p.m. At 9:55, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mattoon, moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. This dangerous storm will be near Charleston and Humboldt at 10:05 p.m., Raritan around 10:10, Oakland and Hinsboro around 10:15 p.m. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include Newman. This also includes Interstate 57 between mile markers 189 and 202. And again, as I pull up the radar here, my latest scan is 4 minutes old now, 9:53 p.m. It does appear there is a tornado in progress between Windsor and Gaze. This is likely knocking on your door, though, in Mattoon, Charleston here. The storm is moving at 80 miles per hour. So by the time I get a radar scan and it's 4 minutes old, the storm is already maybe 10 to 15 miles further than I have in front of me. So Mattoon, Charleston, you got to be seeking shelter right now. Humboldt, you're seeking shelter as well. Surrounding towns there, if you're near the Mattoon area, you live along Highway 16. If you live along Highway 7, I need you to be seeking shelter right now. We've likely got a tornado in progress approaching the area. And then as we head further north from there, these severe storms are knocking on the door here in Champaign-Urbana. It looks like the leading edge of the gusty winds, if it hasn't moved into Champaign-Urbana, it's going to do so soon. So you're seeking shelter here in Champaign-Urbana. These storms will be out of our neck of the woods here in the next 10 to 15 minutes, but likely getting some strong winds moving through Champaign County right now, approaching Interstate 57 from Champaign down to Sodorus and Pasodum. And the strong winds continue south from there. Hammond, Bement, Ivesdale, likely getting blasted with those strong winds as well. And then the tail end of that storm that's near Lovington, moving up toward Atwood, that's the one that's kind of concerned me as a potential tornado producer as well, as it continues to move north toward the Atwood and Pasodum area on Interstate 57, eventually toward Villa Grove as well. So extremely rapid, extremely dangerous storms moving through the area. And the latest update here does look like we've got strong winds, at least per the radar here. If I can get some ground truth from folks in Champaign-Urbana, we'll see how intense these winds are. But if you're listening in Champaign-Urbana, the time is now. The storm is on us. No obvious rotation or tornadic signature moving into the Champaign-Urbana area. But per the radar here, it looks like we've got some strong winds, potentially gusting over 60 miles per hour, moving through or into the Champaign-Urbana area right now.
And if you're just joining us, you're listening to WILL AM 580, HD1 and HD3 Urbana, also FM 90.9. We're listening to a special report about severe weather moving through central Illinois right now. I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media. I'm joined in studio with meteorologist Andrew Pritchard. And a reminder that if you do need to go from the radio and go into sturdy room, you can pull us up on the phone, go to the WILL app, click AM 580, or you can listen to us on your browser, will.illinois.edu or illinoisnewsroom.org. Again, we're under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. here in central Illinois, and we have a couple of active tornado warnings, and I want to get back to Andrew to update us where those are right now.
All right, so yeah, let's do that. Let's pull it up, and we'll look at the current tornado that is in progress right now, moving through the Gaze area, approaching Mattoon on Highway 16, that in Coles County. This one again moving at 80 miles per hour. So I've got a radar image here that shows it just knocking on the door of you in Muhammad. This was at 9:56. This storm was 5 miles away. So you know what? If you're in Mattoon, this storm is likely on you now, the tornadic portion of that storm. And again, looking at the radar, it does appear that we likely have a tornado ongoing with that storm as well. And then extending off to the north, we've got the very strong winds that are approaching or moving through the Champaign, Urbana area and the rest of Champaign County. It looks like I just got a message here in the last minute or so near Central High School. They're starting to get some downpour and winds in Champaign, so that's kind of on the west side of Champaign. To quickly spread across the rest of the Champaign-Urbana metro here as we head through the next probably 5 to 10 minutes. Again, these storms moving very rapidly, and they'll probably be out of the Champaign-Urbana area as we approach maybe 10:15 or 10:30. It sounds like I can hear some rain and maybe some winds on the roof here above us as these storms start to impact us here in Champaign-Urbana.
And I want to mention that if the storm has moved through your area, if you're towards the western edge and you're listening to us and you have experienced some weather damage, you can send us a picture to willnewsroom@illinois.edu or go to the Illinois Newsroom Facebook page. You can upload a picture. We have a lot of different weather information there. But again, you can send us a picture, or if you want to send us a voicemail about what you're seeing, call 217-300-2121, 217-300-2121. Let us know what you're seeing. That's again for people who are not experiencing the storm right now. If you're in the path right now, do not get out. Do not get out and look at the weather or anything. Get in your safe shelter, in your safe place, and let the storm pass over, and then let us know what kind of damage you're seeing. And when we talk about getting in your shelter, Andrew, if you can just again reiterate for folks, what should they do if they're at home and they're in the path of this tornado near Mattoon, or if they're out on the road, say on the highways around the area?
Sure. I mean, if you're at home, you're in a business here, you want to be seeking shelter on the lowest level of your home or business. So that's your basement. If the basement's not available or not an option, you want to be on the lowest level and in interior room there. So that means perhaps finding a bathroom or a closet in the central portion of that building. Your goal is to, again, get on the lowest level, but then on top of that, put as many walls between you and the storm as possible to keep you safe from blowing debris as the storm moves through the area. Again, it looks like, as I look at radar, it looks like we have had or have a tornado in progress moving through or just north of Mattoon, Charleston. Of Mattoon specifically. This will be moving likely north of the Charleston area, this particular circulation. Let me see if I have a new update within the warning from the National Weather Service. It looks like we don't just yet, but again, the strong rotation signature there, approaching Interstate 57 between Humboldt and Mattoon. So if you're traveling on the interstate right now, you need to be pulled over, or at best case, finding a sturdy building to be seeking shelter in. And then as we head further north, again, strong winds associated with storms approaching the Tuscola area, Pisodum, approaching you in Tolono, and then moving through Champaign-Urbana right now, and then on down the Interstate 74 corridor. So St. Joseph, Ogden, Philo, Sidney, Homer, Royal, Gifford, Potomac, you're all next in line for these gusty storms to be moving through the area. And then eventually in the Danville area, this is going to be knocking on your door here in the next 30 minutes to an hour as well. So the rest of Vermilion County, portions of Edgar County, you are next for these storms to move through your area.
One thing I think people must be thinking is, it's December 10th. Where's the snow? Where's the regular fall weather that we're accustomed to here in central Illinois? Why are we seeing this severe weather that is, usually associated with summer or spring?
Well, certainly they're seeing the snow to our north across portions of South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin seeing some heavy snow on the north side of what's a very intense storm system, a very wound up area of low pressure traveling through the Midwest right now. We happen to be on the warm side of this storm. That's why you saw the fog roll in this morning. That was the very deep moisture coming in all the way from the Gulf of Mexico, a very spring-like air mass moving into the environment here, being drawn northward by a very strong jet stream, a very strong low-level jet stream, very strong southerly flow. So as we headed through the evening, you've continued to see the temperature rise, even though the sun has set. And that in itself is a bit unusual, and that is a testament to the very strong flow that's helped advect this very unstable, very volatile environment in place. So it's a very strong storm system, and we just happen to be on the warm side of this one. And this particular storm system, again, a volatile one with an unstable air mass for this time of year. Certainly temperatures in the lower 60s, dew points in the lower 60s, and then the very strong wind shear. This comes with a comes along with the and helps get the storms rotating as well.
It's amazing. And we were sitting in this building here on the University of Illinois campus, WIL Studios and Illinois Public Media, where I can hear I can hear the winds. Usually I'm accustomed to hearing the rain, and we are on the second level, so the roof is right above us, but I can hear like these winds cranking up.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yep, it does appear that, yeah, we're getting hit by that storm here in Champaign-Urbana. It looks like the worst of it will be moving out in the next 10 minutes or so. So, let me know what you're seeing in Champaign-Urbana. If you've got strong winds out there, you see some damage, be sure to let us know that. And we'll continue to monitor this. But this will be moving out of the Champaign-Urbana area in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so.
Again, why don't we just recap just exactly where the tornado warnings are and exactly where, pinpoint the storm and which places are in the path right now.
Sure. So right now, the tornado warning that we have in effect in central Illinois right now, that's going to be for Coles County, Moultrie County, and southeastern Douglas County at 9:55 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Mattoon, moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. And as I look at the most recent radar signature again, it continues to look like that circulation, that potential tornado is north of Mattoon, approaching the Humboldt area on Interstate 57, eventually moving up toward Hinsboro as well, continuing to move off to the northeast at 80 miles per hour. So that is the only tornado warning that we have in effect across central Illinois right now. We've got some tornado warnings off to the north, moving out of northeastern Illinois into northwest Indiana. So the severe weather threat moving into portions of Indiana as well as we head into the overnight hours as well. And then we've also got, a couple of storms, not severe warned, but a couple of thunderstorms west of Springfield. And then we do have a tornado warning in the southwest Illinois vicinity, north of St. Louis, around Edwardsville, and near Interstate 55, an area that we already had tornado warned storms move through. So kind of the Interstate 70 corridor, and areas close to that really bearing the brunt of the severe weather here as we head through the early part of the day as it pertains to central Illinois. Further north from there, across the Interstate 72 corridor, to this point, it's been primarily damaging winds that we've seen from these storms as they move their way through. Again, those strong winds approaching you in eastern portions of Champaign County within the next 10 minutes or so. That's going to be Royal, St. Joseph, Ogden, Homer, Sidney, down toward Broadlands, Longview, and surrounding areas. Those strong winds knocking on your door in those areas.
I think it's worth worth mentioning. I'm on the Ameren Energy site on the outage map, and of course, as these winds come through, we know that they can often take down trees and take down lines, and definitely a lot of outages being reported around Peoria, around Springfield, Decatur, Bloomington, and now starting to see some pop up in Decatur, in the heart of Decatur, and a little starting to pop up now in Champaign County as well. So definitely starting to see the after effects of these winds, whether they're tornado winds or straight line winds, kind of move through. And really, whether they're tornadic or straight line, they are still something very serious to deal with.
That's absolutely true. It looks like things are starting to wind down on the radar here in the Champaign-Urbana metro. That means the storms are continuing to move off to the east. Again, St. Joseph, Sydney, Philo, Homer, Broadlands, Longview, Villa Grove. You're seeking shelter right now because you've got very strong winds approaching. And then again, I haven't mentioned it recently, but these storms, even though they're only, seeing a severe thunderstorm warning, we're talking about primarily damaging winds being the main risk here. We could still certainly see any of these storms wind up and produce, at least brief tornado spin-ups with very little warning. So as the line of intense thunderstorms approaches your location, wherever you may be, if you're along and east of Interstate 57 right now, you're simply seeking shelter, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, because all of these storms have the potential to produce tornadoes. We've got tornado warnings all the way from Lake Michigan, near the Chicago area toward Gary, Indiana, and then into portions of northwest Indiana. And then tornado warnings all the way down toward, again, Mattoon, St. Louis area, into portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas. So it's a widespread severe weather outbreak, one where every storm needs to be given respect here. And again, it's 30 minutes of your time, head somewhere safe, and just make sure that
You can hear right here on the campus of University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, thunder right above our heads, as well as it's a pretty stiff wind gust a little bit earlier. And I'm Reginald Hardwick, and I'm joined in a studio right now with meteorologist Andrew Pritchard. We've been here since about 8 o'clock, I think, just seeing these storms. And I will tell you, Andrew has been warning us all day since morning edition this morning that we could see very severe and a very serious severe weather outbreak, including scattered tornadoes, and that's exactly what has happened tonight. And again, a reminder, if you do need to duck into a closet or a bathroom and you're in the path of one of these storms, you can pull up your cell phone or your smartphone, pull up the WILL app and click AM 580 to continue to listen to us, or stream the illinoisnewsroom.org or will.illinois.edu, our AM signal there. We're also right now on FM until the tornado threat passes, and then we'll resume regular classical music on FM. But for now, we know there's a lot of people on the roads right now, in homes right now, and there's very dangerous storm with major tornadoes even headed towards major cities in our area. So, Andrew, again, can you just recap where are the storms right now?
Yeah, well, I want to mention that we do have a report now. I'm getting damage reports of tornado damage with that storm northeast of Windsor. I mentioned that tornado that was evident on radar between Windsor and Gaze approaching the Mattoon area. I've got reports now of trees down and power poles bent along Route 16 just northeast of Windsor, silos blown down, and houses damaged between Windsor and Gaze. So we've got a confirmed tornado that had touched down there near Highway 16 in Shelby County. And then, I don't know how long that tornado was on the ground as it approached the Mattoon area, and just north from there, it looks like the circulation has weakened at this point as it continues off to the east. The strongest portion of this storm now, we got another storm that's popping up on the south side that has a little bit more of a concerning look, and this one going to be approaching the Charleston area and points south from there in the next, 15 to 30 minutes. Lerna, Charleston, approaching eventually Ashmore and Hutton. There's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect in this area, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that upgraded to a tornado warning south of the Charleston area. I've got a new, I can't tell if this is a new tornado warning or if it's just been trimmed. It looks like the same one here. The tornado warning for Coles County, Moultrie County, Douglas County, and this is the same one that's moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. Again, the circulation, it looks like, has weakened with that, but you need to remain vigilant if you're in Oakland, approaching Brockton. This is along, let me get a highway here. This is going to be along the Highway 133 corridor, Hinsboro over toward Oakland, Bushton, Fairgrange, kind of along Highway 130 in that area. A couple small towns there. Kemp, you're in the path of this previously tornadic storm that has produced damage near Windsor. approaching the Mattoon area, potentially tornado damage near Mattoon as well. We'll see if we get any reports. And then as you head further north, that's where we have the storms that just impacted us in Champaign-Urbana, moving out of Urbana now. These stronger winds pushing into St. Joseph and Ogden. South of that, toward Philo, Sydney, Homer, Block, real small town there, Broadlands, Allerton, the Villa Grove area. You've got potential strong winds moving into your area as well. And then as you progress off to the south, that's where we run back into the tornadic storm that just passed near Mattoon.
Okay. Just trying to check around.
Yeah, no worry.
Try to look for damage, and I just want to mention, if the storm has passed by you, do not get out there if you're in the path of a tornado, or severe thunderstorm warning is issued for your area. But if it has passed and you're perhaps seeing some damage in your neighborhood, maybe some downed trees or anything, also be very aware of live wires. Do not touch those. Call the Amarin or whoever to take care of that. But if you have some damage in your neighborhood, go ahead and send us a picture to willnewsroom@illinois.edu. That's Will Newsroom, WILL Newsroom @illinois.edu. Or you can go to our Illinois Newsroom Facebook or Twitter page, and you can send us a picture there. Or you can send us a voicemail about what you're seeing to 217-300-2121, 217-300-2121. Hopefully not a lot of damage out there. Hopefully people kind of took warning and or at least, avoided injury out there. These storms just seem so serious.
Absolutely. This is it's a very volatile environment, a very volatile storm system. It's one that, as we went through the afternoon and evening hours, sometimes we have the early morning risk. We have to mention that risk in the morning to set your expectations. And then sometimes as we head through the day, we see that severe weather risk falling off as we head through the day. But this is one where every hour we just came, progressively more and more concerned about the potential for severe storms. And that's why I made my way into the studio here to be with Reginald, so we could just tag team this one and provide live coverage for you all as the storms move through, because this is, again, an air mass, an environment that's capable of producing and has produced tornadoes across central Illinois. Again, the corridor that's been hardest impacted across central Illinois has been from, the St. Louis area through Edwardsville. We had, reports of tornadoes then as those storms continued off to the north and east and made their way toward eventually Mattoon, Windsor, and Gaze, where we had the most recent report of tornado damage. So it's been kind of, along and north of Interstate 70 that we've seen much of the tornadic activity, but widespread damaging wind gusts as you make your way to the north. You were mentioning some of the power outages that we've seen. I'm seeing some of these reports of, here near Mount Pulaski, we've got power poles snapped along 600th Street west of 2400. Up in the Pontiac area, we've got reports of a 58 mile per hour wind gust that was measured head over toward Goodfield. This is in McLean County or near there. We've got 65 mile per hour winds. The Pekin area, we've got a 72 mile per hour wind gust. You can head up toward Interstate 57 near Kankakee. We've got two semis that were blown onto their sides on Interstate 57 near mile marker 302. This is near Shabans. So again, we've got, a north-south highway here, a pair of those, but along the Interstate 57 corridor, north-south highway with very strong westerly severe winds coming in. So those semis obviously vulnerable. We got the report here near Shabans. Wouldn't be surprised if we have more, reports like that coming out of the Interstate 72 corridor Interstate 57, perhaps along Interstate 72 as well. But some of these north-south highways, especially vulnerable to the strong straight-line winds as they made their way through the area. We'll check back in with the tornado warnings down across areas south of Champaign County. I don't think I have any new information yet. Okay, I do. At 10:13 p.m., a confirmed tornado was located near Humboldt, or 7 miles north of Charleston, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is the same storm, potentially the same tornado that impacted Windsor, Gaze, the Mattoon area, and is now approaching Humboldt. This tornado will also be near Oakland at 10:25. Newman, you are also in the path of this storm as well. And as I just kind of, I'm going to switch programs here, see if I can pick up anything on the radar. It doesn't look like. It looks like the strongest part of that storm right now is crossing Highway 130 between Hinsboro and Fairgrange near Bushton, moving toward Oakland. You are next in line. Eventually, Brockton, off to the northeast. You are next in line as well from this storm, which remains a discrete supercell and isolated supercell. We talk about isolated supercells, and then we talk about more linear storms. The linear storms, those are your big damaging wind producers. That's what's moved through Champaign-Urbana and continues to move off into Vermilion County now. These linear storms with strong gusty winds along the leading edge, still capable of producing isolated spin-up tornadoes. But then you head off to the south, and that's where you run into the big storms that are by themselves. And these are the ones that they're allowed to kind of rotate unimpeded. And those are the ones that have produced multiple tornadoes over the last couple of hours. And again, the strongest storm right now in the Champaign-Urbana vicinity is going to be that one that's moving north of Charleston now, along the kind of the Highway 133 corridor is where I'm most concerned, between Hinsboro and Oakland right now for that potential tornado, which we have damage reports. We've got tornado damage that's already been reported, so you're not waiting to confirm or anything. I'm telling you, there's a tornado with this storm, and you need to be in shelter across this area. Let's see if we have anything new from it. I don't think we do. I think I just got your most recent update, but again, this storm near Humboldt, 7 miles north of Charleston, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour.
Andrew, I'm on the Ameren website and right now reporting more than 21,000 customers without service in Illinois, another almost 17,000 without service in Missouri. And I will say the area reporting the most outages is just south of Windsor along 32, and just a little northeast of Strasburg. And I remember that is where we had a tornado warned storm, about 1,400 customers without power there. And then we have some other places reporting a few hundred folks without power along I-57 near Dorans, if I'm saying that right. And also just northwest of Cadwell. So then Dalton City along Route 121, and then, right in downtown Decatur, and then all along Route 133, or Highway 133. There just tends to be multiple outages reported, but certainly where these winds have moved through, we're starting to really see a lot of outages reported.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would imagine that is tornado damage, that we're seeing coming out of that area. As I was watching the radar, that was a rather significant circulation, one that was, not just, an obvious tornado, but one that was potentially a strong tornado. And that storm continues to exhibit a hook echo here, one where we've got a potential tornado approaching the town of Oakland, and then moving off to the north and east, approaching Brockton rather quickly as well. This crossing Highway 133 near Oakland, and then eventually approaching Highway 49 near Brockton, and just north of Borton, which is near 133 and 49. So continuing to see a potential tornado here near the Oakland area, eventually moving toward the Brockton and Isabel area on Highway 49. I guess these are smaller towns south of Highway 36, but eventually approaching you in Chrisman. If you're, listening in the Chrisman area, it looks like the current tornado warning is going to miss you to the north in Paris, but you got new storms developing all the way down near Highway 16 south of Charleston. These storms would approach Paris, and they have the early look of storms that could eventually get themselves together here and begin rotating as they move down the Highway 16 corridor, approaching Highway 1 in the Paris vicinity. So Paris, Kansas, Edgar County, you're next in line. I want you to be thinking about heading toward a safe shelter here as these storms begin to approach the area. And then zooming back off to the north, it looks like the most intense part of the linear storms off to the north are moving into eastern Champaign County. It looks like the core of the storm right now is impacting the Ogden area, moving out of Royal, so approaching the Highway 49 corridor in Champaign County, down toward Homer. You're in the thick of it there. So areas just south of Homer, you'll be seeing those strong winds. And then you look ahead from there, I think we've got a new warning coming out that might include the Danville area. So down 74 toward Oakwood, Fithian, Danville, eventually toward the Indiana border. Surrounding portions as you head north and south on Highway 136 out of Danville. So we'll be talking about those strong winds making their way in as well. So let's go ahead and I'm going to switch radar programs here and get you.
And I just received a tweet from the Weather Service about, as you said, Danville, Charleston, and Paris included in a new severe thunderstorm warning until 11:15.
Yep, that makes sense. I'm sure I'll be getting that popping up on my screen here as well. And I want to touch back on the storms to the south. Again, watching that storm moving out of Oakland toward Brockton. But then I'm concerned about that new storm that's developing now along Highway 16 near Kansas, Ashmore.
There's a tornado warning for it.
Did it just get tornado warned?
Yes.
Okay, so yep, that storm had the look. It looks like they're going to be issuing a tornado warning that I'll be able to see here in just a moment. But that's the one that would be moving toward you in Paris shortly. So if you're in the Paris area, you're going to need to be heading to a safe shelter right now as well. I'll let you know what the details are on that warning as soon as I get them on my screen here.
And it looks like Georgetown, Chrisman, Ridge Farm, Illinois, until 11 o'clock Central Time.
Yep, that makes absolute sense. Right now, in the most updated radar image that I have, the tornadic portion of that storm was very near Oakland. And so quickly moving off to the north and to the east, that's going to be approaching you in Chrisman very quickly. So in Chrisman areas, south of there, Paris, you need to be heading to shelter with this new storm coming in from the south. That's along the Highway 16 corridor, a little town of Hutton. Toward Elbridge, we got a strong storm moving in as well. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like. I'll go ahead and give you the details on this one as well. Another big warning. We got eastern Coles County, Edgar County, northern Clark County, Vermilion County, southeastern Champaign County, eastern Douglas County, in east central Illinois. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:15 p.m. At 10:24 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Potomac to near Charleston, moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. Hazards include 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. You can expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees as the storm moves through. Potomac around 10:30, Rossville and Clarksville around 10:35. Other locations in the path of these severe storms include Paris, Oliver, and Vermilion. This includes Interstate 74 between mile markers 197 and 220. And again, these storms, have the potential to produce tornadoes. We're talking about a severe thunderstorm warning, but brief tornadoes, and whether or not it's tornadic or it's straight line, these winds need to be taken seriously. They can, blow over semis if you're on the road. They can, wreak havoc if you're a vehicle on the road. Here's the new tornado warning. I'm going to go ahead and stop myself there and give you the latest details. At 10:26, we've got a tornado warning issued for east central Coles County, northern Edgar County, southeastern Vermilion County, and east central Douglas County. That's in effect until 11 o'clock p.m. At 10:25 p.m., a tornado-producing storm was located near Brockton, or 15 miles west of Paris, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Again, the storm is cruising. So if you're in the warned area, you need to be in shelter right now. Don't wait and, wait for some sort of warning sign to head to shelter. By the time that happens, the tornado is already on top of you. This tornadic storm will be near Hume around 10:35, Chrisman at 10:40, Ridge Farm at 10:45 p.m. Again, this storm has a history of producing tornadoes near Windsor and near the Mattoon area, and it quickly continues to move off to the north and to the east. This one going to be moving into the Highway 36 corridor, impacting you there near Chrisman, Edgar, and Ridge Farm very shortly.
And I want to jump in really quick and just mention that you are listening to continuing coverage of severe weather here in Central Illinois on WILL AM 580 and FM 90.9 HD1 and HD3 Urbana. We hope to return to classical as soon as the tornado warnings expire, and then continue our coverage on AM But for now, we have some really life-threatening storms, and we know there's people on the roads. We know there are people listening at home, and we want to make sure. And this is kind of an unusual situation where we have in December a major tornado outbreak, and we've already had reports of major damage tonight. So far, no reports of injuries, so at least that's good news. No initial reports of injuries, but certainly we've been with you for the last 2.5 hours talking about the threat moving through our area. And Andrew, if you just want to just run through real quick just all of the current active warnings, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I did want to preempt that by just saying I got a report of a semi that was flipped just west of Mattoon. So that was either related to the tornado or strong winds with that storm, but we'll continue to see reports like that coming in, I am sure. So as we run down the warnings that we have in effect, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect all the way from northwest Indiana all down into east central Illinois. So in the immediate WILL severe weather coverage area, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect across. This is going to be eastern Coles County, Edgar County, northern Clark County, Vermilion County, southeastern Champaign County, eastern Douglas County. That's in effect until 11:15 p.m. You head south from there. That's where we have the tornado warning that is in effect. That's going to be for this is east central Coles County, northern Edgar County, southeastern Vermilion County, east central Douglas County, and that's in effect until 11 p.m. At 10:25 p.m. A tornado-producing storm was located near Brockton, or 15 miles west of Paris, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. And then you head south from there. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for new storms that have developed just south of that tornadic storm. That one's going to be for eastern Coles County, Edgar County, northern Clark County, Vermilion County, southeastern Champaign County, eastern Douglas County. That's in effect until 11:15 p.m. You head down the Interstate 70 corridor. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning. This one includes the Neoga area. This one in effect for Coles County, southeastern Shelby, Cumberland, and southeastern Champaign and eastern Douglas County. So some overlapping warnings here as these multiple warnings are issued. And then you don't want to hear this, but further off to the west, we've got another tornado warning that's in effect. It's south and west of the WILL severe weather coverage area, but Bond County, Madison County, Fayette County, southeastern Macoupin County, southern Montgomery County until 11:15. We have got a tornado warning in effect. At 10:17 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Mount Olive to near Sorrento to near Troy, moving east at 70 miles per hour. Let me go ahead and see if I can get want to get the text on this tornado warning here that's in effect for Bond County, Fayette County, and southern Montgomery County. This is the second storm that's produced tornado warnings in this area, or prompted warnings. We've got a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Taylor Springs, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. That storm near Van Burensburg and Ramsey between 10:35 and 10:40 p.m. And then we've got additional severe thunderstorm warnings south of the St. Louis area. And then this is a widespread outbreak of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. We've got tornado warnings and confirmed tornadoes across Missouri, moving out of Arkansas into Kentucky and Tennessee. And then those warnings are moving into Indiana as well. And then I imagine we'll be moving into the Ohio area as we get into Saturday morning. So unusual in the sense that it's December. Unusual in the sense that this severe weather event is peaking during the overnight hours. And then the other unusual factor here is the extremely fast 60 to 80 mile per hour storm motions here, making this an event that you need to really be on your heels. Now, the good news with that fast motion means these storms are coming and they're going very quickly. So the Interstate 57 corridor across, Iroquois, Ford County into Champaign County, you're clear now. The rain has tapered off in Champaign, and the last of the storms are moving out of Champaign County as well. Ogden, Homer, Broadlands, you're going to see the rain tapering off in the next 5 minutes or so. Villa Grove, Tuscola, Arcola, Humboldt, you are in the clear now. And then as you head further south down Interstate 57, we are being impacted right now in the Mattoon area. You got another severe storm overhead right now in Mattoon, down toward Paradise, Neoga. You've got severe thunderstorms approaching the area as well, and then the threat continues along Interstate 70. But right now, I mentioned we have a couple stray thunderstorms near the Springfield area right now. Those are not severe at the moment. We'll continue to monitor them. But as it stands right now, the immediate severe weather risk has passed in Champaign County with no immediate, obvious severe storm knocking on our door here. The Interstate 72 corridor between Springfield and Champaign has really quieted down within the last hour.
I want to get to some developing news regarding some storm systems that move through the St. Louis area. And it's being reported, at least on the Associated Press, there are dozens of emergency vehicles in an Amazon center near Edwardsville, Illinois, about 25 miles west of St. Louis. Apparently, what's being reported is that there was a roof collapse there, and about 100 people were believed to be in the building. At least one TV station reporting that. The Belleville News reporting the Amazon Fulfillment Center in Edwardsville opened with 2 warehouses in 2016 with 1.5 million square feet of space, and the warehouses store items until they're shipped to mail order customers. But again, the possible collapse, roof collapse, a strong thunderstorm, and possibly a tornado ripped through the St. Louis area. Winds of up to 70 miles per hour were reported in St. Charles and St. Louis counties in Missouri, and there's also a lot of damage reported in Arkansas. So generally around a large part of the Midwest, we're seeing a lot of major damage. Also in Arkansas as well. 2 people, or at least, are reported dead in Arkansas. But again, in the St. Louis area on the Illinois side of the border, possible Amazon center where the roof collapsed after a thunderstorm moving through earlier this evening. It's been called a mass casualty incident, and there were up to 100 people possibly in the building at the time of the roof collapse. So we'll continue to look for more information on that, and hope for there are not any more injuries reported there.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate to hear. And then, I hate to dump on areas that have already been impacted here, but we've got a tornado warning that is continuing to, move toward the Shelby County area. So I've got another storm that's, potentially producing a tornado approaching the Ramsey area. Herrick again within the next 30 minutes. This is an area that already saw, potential tornadoes. This is a storm that, has produced damage along Highway 16 near Windsor and Gaze up toward Mattoon. We're continuing to monitor this next cluster of storms that stretches from kind of Nokomis down toward Greenville and then down toward the Highland area on Interstate 70. The other storms now quickly pushing toward the Illinois-Indiana border. So Danville, the strong storms are on your door there. You head north up to, Rossville, Alvin, Bismarck, State Line City. You got strong winds coming your way. And then the tornado warning. That storm, the core of the storm, is impacting Ridge Farm and Chrisman now. So likely in Ridge Farm and Chrisman, you're getting hit pretty hard right now with some heavy rains, lightning, likely some strong winds, and that potential for a tornado. I don't see the strong rotation signature that we saw previously, but the portion of this storm that would have the potential to produce a tornado is going to be very near the Chrisman area, just north of Edgar, and then quickly moving off to the north and to the east from there. So that's going to be along Highway 150, moving up toward the Indiana border, just to the east from there, eventually moving toward Dana, Indiana, Newport, Indiana. This potentially tornadic storm is going to be knocking on your doorstep. In Champaign County, the storms are now completely exiting the area. The cold front has not moved through, so the environment remains rather unstable. We'll have to keep an eye on the west right now, but Champaign County, you're in the clear right now. The severe storms are exiting the area, and then Vermilion County, the storms will be exiting your area here quickly in the next 15 or 30 minutes. The most concerning storm right now, still in the approaching the Ramsey area in Nokomis area. The update on this one at 10:33 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Coffeen, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. The storm would be near Ramsey at 10:40 p.m. This storm, again, the same trajectory that would take it right into Shelbyville. Point south from there, Shelby County, the Highway 16 corridor, which is dealing with tornado damage now. So hopefully the storm weakens over the next, 30 minutes or so before this thing moves into Shelby County. But it's very possible we could see a new warning, whether it's severe thunderstorm or tornado warning, moving into Shelby County in the next 30 minutes or so. And again, this is an area where they're likely dealing with cleanup and trying to, assess the damage there from what appeared to be a rather intense tornadic circulation that moved through portions of Shelby County and Coles County between Windsor and Mattoon. Again, if you have any info on that, go ahead and send that to us. So I'm going to pass it to Reginald really quick to give you the information, the address here for WILL, where you can send some of that information if you do have damage.
Absolutely. If you have weather damage, and again, if the storm has passed through you and perhaps you're listening to us, go ahead and take a picture on your cell phone, send it to Will Newsroom, WILL Newsroom at illinois.edu, right here on the campus of U of I. Again, WILL Newsroom at illinois.edu. Also, you can go to our Facebook or Twitter, Illinois Newsroom on Facebook, Illinois Newsroom on Twitter, and upload it there. We'd love to know what's going on there. You know, we've been on the air for a few hours just talking about these storms and just wanting to know what kind of damage is out there and if people are okay or what's going on. And also, if you are maybe perhaps want to just call us and let us know what's going on, you can send us a voicemail about what you're seeing at 217 300 2121, 217 300 2121. And again, you are listening to severe weather coverage on WILL AM 580 and FM 90.9, HD1 and HD3 Urbana, and bring you special report on really serious severe weather. Again, having moved through the St. Louis area and in Edwardsville, Illinois, I'm starting to see some pictures from that Amazon warehouse where there was a roof collapse and possibly 100 people inside. Very serious situation there on the Missouri-Illinois border. And then those storms continued tracking eastward, sometimes at 75 to 80 miles per hour with tornadoes, and certainly causing a lot of winds and a lot of damage. Maybe just more trees, and that we don't have any major roof damage reported so far, but certainly it's been a very cautious night here in central Illinois.
Absolutely, yeah. And just to touch back on the one tornado warning we have in effect in the immediate area, I should apologize. We have two. We've got the one that's moving into Indiana right now, northeastern Edgar and southeastern Vermilion counties. At 10:38 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Chrisman, or 12 miles north of Paris. That storm moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. This one going to be impacting rural areas of northeastern Edgar and southeastern Vermilion counties, including the following locations. That's going to be Scotland and Edgar. Again, the storm moving quickly toward the Indiana border, approaching Dana, Indiana. So if you're in that vicinity, you got a storm knocking on your door. And then as I zoom back off to the west, we do have that tornado warning that's in effect right now for, let me get the details on it. Get this pulled up. Thanks for bearing with me here. All right, so a tornado warning that's in effect for southeastern Montgomery County and northwestern Fayette County, north central Bond County. At 10:33 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Coffeen, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Again, this is the one that's going to be moving through, or has likely moved through, the Ramsey area within the last 5 minutes or so. If the storm continued to hold on to its strength, which as of right now, I don't see a really obvious area of rotation with this one, but the storm itself is going to continue to move on into Shelby County, and again, impact areas that have just been impacted by a tornado. So whether or not this thing continues to produce, potential tornadoes, it's certainly frustrating when you're trying to assess some of the damage here, and you've got numerous showers and storms trying to move back over the area.
We continue to see Ameren Energy, and just checking customers without service in Illinois, about 24,437 customers in Illinois, and places that are seeing several hundred to several thousand power outages right now. Arthur, Lovington, we have a area east of I-57 near Arcola. Seeing about 1,700 people without power. A lot of power outages reported in Decatur. Few on the east side of Champaign and Urbana, and a little north of St. Joseph. Also, a few dozen outages along, I believe it is US 136, and pulling up the map here, Rossville, Johnsonville, and on the west side of Danville, and then a lot of outages reported near Peoria, Bloomington, and Decatur.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing now, this was expected, but I'm getting more and more damage reports coming out of the Mattoon area. We've got a report here 3 miles northwest of Mattoon. A house was severely damaged with people trapped inside. Also, we've got a report here 3 miles southeast of Coles. Train spotter reported a machine shed was destroyed and numerous power lines were blown down near 800 North and 200. I'm guessing that would be 200 East there. And then, of course, we had the report of semis that were blown down just west of Mattoon as well. I've got a report of a semi that was blown over near the Rural King distribution 3 miles west-northwest of Mattoon. So, we're starting to fill in some of the gaps here where it appears we had a tornado that tracked from in or just, near Windsor up toward Gaze, and then west and north of Mattoon. So how long this tornado remained on the ground, whether it made it up toward Interstate 57, I haven't got any new reports yet. If you can provide any insight there on, Highway 45 between Humboldt and Mattoon, or Interstate 57 just east of that, or we're looking for some reports here to see how long this tornado was in progress. But that right there is, at least a 10-mile tornado track here from Windsor to northwest of Mattoon from this storm that moved through Shelby County into far southern Moultrie and then western Coles County. We're again starting to get some of those damage reports coming in. We continue to look off to the west, watching the next round of storms. This is kind of a Boeing line of storms that is, again, marching right back down the same corridor that was just impacted by that tornado. So, as you get towards Shelbyville, you got another storm knocking on your door here. That, again, no warning in effect across Shelby County, but the potential for severe weather with that storm that currently extends from Pana down toward Herrick, and then it kind of curves down to the south and to the west along Interstate 70 with a very strong storm with some rotation in it near Pocahontas on Interstate 72. That's approaching Greenville, Mulberry Grove, Pleasant Mound, and eventually toward Vandalia. So the Interstate 70 corridor remains under the gun here. And then, the Interstate 57 corridor potentially remaining under the gun here between Mattoon and Effingham with this next line of storm that's currently, about 40 to 50 miles away, which moving at 60 to 70 miles per hour puts it on you in the next hour or so. So Effingham, you may have your turn at this one in the next hour or two. You want to be remaining alert if you're listening in Effingham, as we do have severe storms, one of which showing some strong rotation, at least one of them showing some rotation near Pocahontas. This would continue toward Vandalia and then Altamont and then Effingham over the next hour or so. The storms I had been watching near Springfield over toward Decatur, those remain weak, non-severe, so maybe some rain, maybe some lightning, moving toward the Lincoln area into portions of Logan County. This would eventually maybe drift into DeWitt County, portions of Macon County. Right now, not seeing any severe weather with that. Oftentimes, we get the lead round of storms that comes through. It kind of churns over the atmosphere. The purpose of these storms, if you want to get deep here, the atmosphere, it's doing this to balance things out. It's been very mild across the area here. We've got a very strong storm system coming in here. The atmosphere is unstable. What we mean there is we've got warm, humid air down near the ground. It's in the 60s now across central Illinois with dew points in the 60s. That's the kind of thing we typically see in April. You head up a few thousand feet into the atmosphere in the mid-levels there, it's very cold. So we've got an imbalance there between the warm, humid air at the ground, the cold air above you, and that area wants to rise and develop into thunderstorms. And then, of course, we've got the strong wind shear here in place, and that's what takes those thunderstorms from your garden variety storms to the more severe storms and potentially tornadic storms as well. And so what happens sometimes is that first line of storms moves through. It serves its purpose. It creates some chaos and severe weather there, but it churns over the atmosphere such that even as the cold front moves through on the backside here and runs into still a rather, warm air mass here, it doesn't quite have the same ingredients that it did several hours prior. So hopefully that's what we're seeing, because the cold front itself remains off to the west here. So we can't necessarily close the book on this event until the cold front has pushed through. Right now, it looks like that cold front is near the Mississippi River, and is likely what is responsible for some of the newer storms down near the St. Louis area. But as the cold front makes its way through here, as we approach midnight and then the early morning hours, that severe weather risk will completely fade. But as it stands right now, the Interstate 72 corridor, Springfield, Decatur, Monticello, Champaign, we're in the clear right now. No new thunderstorm development that concerns me upstream. As we look at the current area of severe storms that is impacting portions of central Illinois, the first round of storms is, again, quickly moved out of Illinois. The severe risk now with those pushing into western Indiana, Attica, Indiana, down toward Dana, Indiana. This is where that previously tornado-warned storm that caused damage near Mattoon and Windsor, that storm is already moving into the Dana area. Newport along Highway 63 in western Illinois, Indiana, just across the border from Illinois. Again, these are also the storms that impacted us here in Champaign-Urbana. The quick storm motions have moved them out of here rather quickly. So you head down to the south, Mattoon, Charleston. You've got some rain, thunder going on right now. No warnings in effect in Mattoon, Charleston. These currently non-severe storms. And then you head back further to the southwest, and that is where we have the storms ongoing near Pana, Ramsey, Vandalia, Greenville. Those ones severe warned with a tornado warning that's in effect here, expiring in 23 minutes. I've got a new update here at 10:47 p.m. This in northwestern Fayette County, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 8 miles west of Cowden, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. The locations impacted here, Ramsey. I think the storm is exiting the Ramsey area. So if you're in the Ramsey area, you've got damage, be sure to let us know about that. But then approaching Herrick and Bale City, this also includes the Ramsey Lake State Park as well. And then this storm will continue to move off into portions of Shelby County and Effingham County as we get into the next hour or so, potentially producing gusty winds and maybe the risk for an isolated tornado or two.
What is and I remember at some point there was a, high wind warning that would be posted starting at 3 a.m. Saturday. And I know you've been concentrating on current weather. I don't know how much you've been able to look into the forecast, but are we still going to see some windy conditions and falling temperatures tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a good point. As we, this is a very potent storm system. I mentioned that the Mother Nature wants to balance things out here. So, what goes up as far as our temperatures go must come back down here. It is December after all. The cold front will sweep through during the middle of the night, and then strong westerly winds will follow. So we do have a wind advisory that remains in effect from 3 a.m. tomorrow. This will be Saturday morning to 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. You can expect westerly winds 20 to 30 mile per hour, gusting up to 50 miles per hour. There's going to be also a dense fog advisory that's going to be in effect until portions of the region, as well as some of the fog is still impacting the area here. Let me go ahead and pull up some more information on this wind advisory that we have in effect. That again is going to be through the early morning hours into the mid-afternoon across the area. Those strong westerly winds gusting 50 miles per hour. And again, that's going to be dropping our temperatures. Right now, we got a temperature of 63 degrees in Champaign-Urbana at the Willard Airport. We'll see our temperatures here behind the front dropping down to around 40 degrees. We'll see temperatures kind of hover right around 40 degrees early on Saturday morning before they begin to fall. So, We're kind of seeing the opposite. We've gone through the late evening and the overnight hours, and we saw our temperatures rise because we had very strong southerly winds, a very strong warm air advection is what we call that. So we were drawing warmer and humid air northward even after the sun had set, which is a little, atypical. Well, we're going to see the opposite of that tomorrow. On Saturday, during the daytime hours, even though the sun is going to be coming out, we'll see, skies becoming sunny. We'll see plenty of sunshine, but we're going to be advecting a very cold air mass in. So those strong westerly winds, that's going to be coming in out of the northwest, bringing in strong, cold air advection. And so we'll see our temperatures falling from around 40 degrees in the morning hours into the mid 30s as we head later on into the day, with those winds again gusting to 50 miles per hour. So it's going to feel very different tomorrow than it feels out there right now. Warm and muggy today, cold and windy for our Saturday.
Okay. Well, good to know that at least we won't be dealing, hopefully, with more of these tornadic storms throughout the tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow the severe weather risk definitely going to be a non-event here in Illinois. The severe weather outbreak could continue during the early morning hours as it moves off into portions of the Ohio Valley, the southeast, parts of the Mid-Atlantic. But once we get on the other side of probably the midnight hour, maybe 1 or 2 a.m., we'll see the severe weather risk finally come to a close across central Illinois. Again, non-severe storms kind of drifting through Logan County into DeWitt and Macon County right now. We got this little Boeing line of storms that's moving through Tower Hill, approaching Shelbyville. There's no warning in effect right now in Shelby County, but certainly you could still see some gusty winds with those storms. And then as you head down toward Interstate 70, another isolated supercell with strong rotation there near Greenville and Pleasant Mound. This is the storm that was near Pocahontas earlier. Continues to move toward the north and to the east rapidly down the Interstate 70 corridor. So if you're on Interstate 70, you're listening there from Greenville to Vandalia to St. Elmo, eventually toward Effingham, you've got the potential for a tornadic storm moving into your area. And then even, with the storm as we continue off into Shelby County where there's no warning, just remain vigilant in these areas. We could still have the potential for some strong winds and maybe a tornado or two. Even though the first line of storms has moved through, we still have a rather volatile environment in place. And as I'm saying that, here comes the severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning now for Coles County, southeastern Moultrie, northern Jasper County, Shelby County, Cumberland County, and Effingham County. That's until 11:45 p.m. At 10:55 p.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Tower Hill to near Wright's Corner, moving east at 70 miles per hour. Locations impacted here are going to be Shelbyville around 11 p.m. That's 2 minutes from now. Effingham, Windsor, which was just impacted by a tornado. Stewartson and Shumway around 11:10. Teutopolis at 11:15. Other locations in the path of these severe storms include Mattoon, Montrose, Lerna, Jewett, Charleston, Toledo, Greenup, Hidalgo, Ashmore, Raritan, Hazeldell, and Casey. And this severe thunderstorm warning includes, again, the area that was already impacted by a tornado from Windsor to west-northwest of Mattoon. So if you're involved in the cleanup there, you're assessing things, do know that you've got another storm that is capable of producing strong wind gusts and potentially a brief tornado approaching the area. No strong rotation with that right now. I agree with the severe thunderstorm warning being the route here, because I think we are transitioning toward more of a predominantly damaging wind gust threat. But again, on the tail end of that storm, tail end of that little line, we do have a more robust storm that has some very strong rotation along Interstate 70 near Mulberry Grove and Pleasant Mound. That's going to be approaching the Vandalia area as well. No tornado warning with that one right now, but I do see some strong rotation near Interstate 70. So in the Vandalia area, if you can hear me, go ahead and seek shelter. You've got a storm approaching you that's at the very least going to produce some strong winds, and at the very worst has the potential to produce a tornado.
Okay, well, we're about 20 seconds away from the 11 p.m. hour. What we're going to do, since it seems the tornado warnings will be expiring at 11 o'clock, if I'm correct, we will return WILL FM 90.9 to Classical 24 and let everyone know that's listening there that you can continue to follow us either on WILL AM 580 or go to the Twitter or Facebook pages of Illinois Newsroom, as well as the Illinois Newsroom site .org, and continue to follow the severe weather there. So we're going to pause just for a moment to let the classical folks return to, hopefully it'll be a much quieter evening. Okay, and if you're joining us, it is 11 o'clock, and you're listening to WILL AM 580, HD1 and HD3 Urbana. I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media, along with meteorologist Andrew Pritchard, and we're going to do a little recap here, and then I think both of our voices need a little bit of a break here, but we want to just update everyone on the severe weather that's in our area. We do know there's at least some damage reported in the Mattoon area, and some very serious damage being reported in Edwardsville, Illinois. Possible roof collapse in the Amazon warehouse where 100 people may have been working at the time. That is in the St. Louis area. But we're also seeing power outages and down trees all over central Illinois. But Andrew, update us what warnings are in effect right now and what watches still exist.
Certainly. Well, the active warnings right now are confined to south central and southern Illinois. So the Interstate 72 corridor from Springfield to Decatur to Champaign, and down 74 to Danville. You are in the clear right now. We've got maybe some rain and some showers here, maybe a few flashes of lightning to go, but the severe weather threat has wrapped up across this area, at least for now. We'll keep our eyes on the west as the cold front approaches, but no imminent thunderstorm development over there and nothing severe. So you head further south, the warnings that we have in progress right now, it's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for Coles County, Moultrie County, northern Jasper County, Shelby County, Cumberland County, Effingham County, in south central Illinois in effect until 11:45 p.m. And then we also still have a tornado warning here that's in effect, for northwestern Fayette County. And at 10:47, that tornado was reported near Cowden, moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. I think this tornado warning will be allowed to expire as I'm not seeing any real intense rotation with it at the moment. You head a little further south, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for eastern Bond and Fayette counties. That one down near Interstate 70, where we're talking about the potential for some damaging wind gusts. And of course, the risk and the warnings continue further south from there, south of the St. Louis area. And then we've got numerous tornado warnings, including some significant tornadoes in progress across portions of Missouri and Kentucky down into Tennessee, and continuing to get some damaging wind reports here. I just got one out of Champaign County. We've got a 65 mile per hour wind gust estimated in Sidney. That would certainly be enough to cause some damage. So if we were seeing 60 plus mile per hour gusts across Champaign County, certainly possible we've got some damage out there that's yet to be discovered. It is nighttime, so if you're traveling, keep that in mind. You may come up on some downed power lines or tree branches in the road with little warning there, so you want to make sure you're not flying down these roads in the dark where we could have had some damaging wind gusts. That holds true up and down the Interstate 57 corridor north and south of Champaign. To recap, we've had at least one significant tornado that appears struck very near the towns of Windsor, Gaze, and Mattoon in Shelby, southern Moultrie, and Coles County. And then just to recap, we do have this Boeing storm, which we just got the new tornado warning. I was talking about Vandalia not being under a tornado warning yet. That has changed, luckily so, because that storm does continue to rotate. I'll give the details on that one here. This just came out. We've got a tornado warning for central Fayette County and south central Illinois. At 11:01 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Mulberry Grove, moving east at 65 miles per hour. This is going to impact Vandalia around 11:10 and Brownstown around 11:15 p.m. So this is, again, that severe weather risk that is currently tracking along Interstate 70. So if you can hear me in Effingham, this is your 30-minute heads up here. This potentially tornadic storm that does have some strong rotation in it. It's going to continue to march down Interstate 70 toward your area. This is the only rotating storm in central Illinois right now. Everything else, straight line wind damage to this point. And again, the only other storm, that severe thunderstorm warning that's moving through Shelby County, southern Moultrie County into Coles County, and then, surrounding portions of Effingham, Cumberland, and Jasper County is where that warning is in effect. And then another one way down there, if you're in southwest Illinois and you can hear us, We got Clinton County, Washington County, and southeastern St. Clair County in southwest Illinois. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:30 p.m. I'm sorry. That storm also moving northeast at 75 miles per hour. So the good news is the primary WILL severe weather coverage area quieting down. The bad news is an area that was already hit hard across Shelby, Moultrie, and Coles County is the area that's currently being impacted by this last round of severe storms. Effingham, you need to be on the lookout. You've got a potentially tornadic storm knocking on your door here in the next 30 minutes.
Looking now at the Ameren Energy map, and I think we continue to see the number of customers continue to increase. Now 26,156 in Illinois, 16,915 customers without service in Missouri. And if you were to pull up the Ameren outage map, you would see a lot of just almost like a path. You can just tell the winds, coming from the St. Louis area into Illinois, northeasterly, and of course through the areas that we've reported that have had tornado-warned storms. And again, some of the larger outages, I'm seeing Mount Zion area, about 344 customers without power. Looking at near Charleston, north of Charleston, we have about 500 customers without power. Looking at Arthur, and 800 customers without power. Lovington, about another 500 customers without power. And then just a lot of outages starting to really pop up in Vermilion County and on the Urbana side of Champaign-Urbana and St. Joseph, and all around Decatur, Springfield, Bloomington. Again, all the areas that we reported earlier that saw either very strong winds, straight line winds, or tornadic winds.
Yeah, and I'm taking just a moment just to kind of get my bearings on the environment that we have in place. I mentioned that the cold front continues to, it's approaching the Mississippi River. It's blasting through Missouri right now and will eventually push into Illinois. And that's when we can really close the door on this event. But as I kind of, take a look at the environment in place here, this first line of storms that's moved through really has done a lot to stabilize the environment here. So while the cold front still looms off to the west, the environment ahead of it has really stabilized quickly. So again, with no thunderstorm development or no intense thunderstorm development, back across western Illinois at this hour, it continues to look like, as we talk about the Interstate 72 corridor, Springfield, Decatur, Champaign, and then on toward Danville, the Bloomington Normal area, points in between that, Lincoln, Clinton, Gibson City, Monticello. We're talking about the severe weather risk really falling off here as we head through the rest of the evening. It's certainly possible we get some rain and some lightning, but the environment is not nearly what it was before these storms moved through. So the bigger concern now, shifting south to the Interstate 70 corridor and then on into the rest of southern Illinois.
Okay, well, I think, and then one more reminder, and I'm looking at the tornado watch does still remain in effect until 2 a.m. Just because of the atmosphere, you're saying, because it's still kind of unstable out there.
Certainly. I don't want to, preempt this and close the book on the event too soon. But again, the cold front's still off to the west, but the environment out ahead of it is really stabilizing a lot. We've churned things over with this first line of storms that move through. We don't quite have that imbalance there. It's not quite as unstable. So as the cold front moves through, it's certainly possible that, that front could trigger some new showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms, but the environment that produced and supported the widespread outbreak of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes is not there anymore. It continues to be pushed off to the east. This is going to become a bigger deal for our neighbors in Indiana right now. The state of Indiana is just covered in severe thunderstorm warnings and a couple of tornado warnings, and those continue off across the Ohio River down into Kentucky and Tennessee. And again, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect across southern and southeastern Illinois as well. So as you kind of draw a line from St. Louis to Champaign and then follow that back toward Decatur, Springfield, and eventually the Mississippi River. It does look like, while the risk is maybe non-zero right now, it is dramatically lower than it was before. And you can add on to that the fact I'm not seeing any signs of new robust thunderstorm development. So the atmosphere continues to lose its energy. And we've also got, nothing in the way of really intense thunderstorms knocking on our door here in Champaign County, which makes me feel pretty good too. Right now, I, again, continue to be mostly concerned about those storms near the Interstate 70 corridor. Vandalia, you got a potential tornado knocking on your door there, and that's going to continue to track off toward the Effingham area as well. As I look off to the north, I mentioned this storm is approaching the area that was impacted by the tornado near Gaze, Windsor, and Mattoon. That storm losing a bit of its oomph as well. So some heavy rain, probably some lightning and maybe some gusty winds there, but not looking at a repeat tornadic threat in the Windsor and Mattoon area, which is certainly good news. The tornado risk now seems to be highest along and south of Interstate 70.
Okay. Well, Andrea, we want to thank you for coming in tonight. We knew, and you have forecasted along with other forecasters with National Weather Service and others saying that this would be a very severe and serious weather threat tonight. And we really appreciate that you took the time to join us in studio tonight to keep everyone abreast of all the severe weather out there. And we'll continue. What we'll do is go back to kind of join in progress programming on AM 580. If there's any other things that change and we have a lot ramped up, we'll come back and be on air. But otherwise, you can follow us on the Illinois Newsroom Facebook page or Twitter page. And send us any pictures that you see of damage out there. I imagine with 70, 80 mile an hour winds, there was a lot of trees fallen and that sort of thing. If you can take a picture safely, again, don't touch a live wire or anything, send that in to us. Or you can email us at willnewsroom, WILL newsroom at illinois.edu. And, or you can also, I guess I'll give you a second or two to promote your websites and your Twitter handle.
Sure. So yeah, if you want to, follow along for the rest of the evening, you can go ahead and on Twitter, I'm at Skydrama, and then we've also got Chambana Weather. You can search that on Twitter and Facebook. That's where I'll be sharing additional updates here if they, become available. But it does look like the severe weather threat is going to continue to wind down. So we'll likely be transitioning out of live severe weather coverage here. I'll probably be shutting down the other live streams as well, as it appears that the risk, while it continues, is shifting off to the south and to the east, away from us here in central Illinois. So along and south of Interstate 70, the southern third of Illinois, certainly under the gun for continued tornadoes and severe weather. But north of Interstate 70, that risk is continuing to fade quickly as we approach the midnight hour.
Okay, great. And throughout the night, our Emily Hayes is going out to look at damage in Champaign County, and throughout the weekend, we'll probably head on down to Mattoon and look at some of the severe damage that we're starting to get reports that's very serious down there. Probably first light to go down there when it's more safe. And so stay tuned to Illinois Public Media, WILL AM 580. We'll have updates throughout the weekend, and also on illinoisnewsroom.org. We're also going to start compiling some damage reports on our website. So for now, I'm Reginald Hardwick, News and Public Affairs Director at Illinois Public Media, along with meteorologist Andrew Pritchard. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay safe tonight.
Basically, it generates hundreds of millions of dollars a year in investment, technologies, everything, from practices, city systems,
Okay, I think.
It's facial recognition software, which is really been controversial, and that's used.
We can actually stand.
Yes.
Good job.